Alright, it's time. Another week. ZTGD Radio. This is episode 796 for May 20th, 2024. And on the show this week, we have Anthony.
How do you feed blood to Grandpa? It took me a second there.
I was like, are we going to get anything? What's going on?
I was like,
I
do
didn't
we
know.
have Anthony?
I wasn't sure what to say, so I was just like, fuck it, hit the sound button.
We have Terrence.
What's up, y'all?
We got the Wombat. Everybody's like, we added a new sound to the soundboard, so everybody's got to play with the soundboard. Like last show, that didn't even happen.
Yeah.
Last show was just you and Terrence.
Yeah, we never turned on the soundboard.
Oh wow. You know what? We didn't. Dag. You know what? That's.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure there was a reason to bring up. No, you know what? You made the reference to coming off the boat. Never mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just make it, and you don't need to do anything extra.
Yeah, it just works. I'm happy to have Bless.
I don't need to hear about you making it.
That.
Come on now, that's
okay.
That's
you got me.
That's
All right.
No, come on now, really easy.
I'ma just stop talking.
I'm just gonna keep inserting
Get
jokes
on,
here,
Ken.
Anthony. Do you just want to keep making sex puns? Is that what you want to do?
You did insert it. You're right.
See?
Oh my God.
Oh, God. That one ought to get clipped.
Yeah.
That's what happens if you make it too often and insert it. Then you gotta
I
get it
prefer
clipped.
it. I prefer it clipped.
Nobody on this show is 12. Wait, everybody's 12.
Jesus Christo.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, we didn't do a show last week, which is crazy because there was some big news, but I'm sure we'll reference it this week.
Oh yeah.
Probably not.
Oh, there's no way we can't not reference that. That's going to happen. Especially when we talk about, something that happened to the contrary of that, but we'll get to that later. Let's talk about video games that we are allowed to talk about. That's always fun. Terrence, you want to kick us off?
Sure. So I'll just shotgun this list because I've been playing a lot of stuff. So most recently, because actually I just turned it off, was playing Homeworld 3, which I'm reviewing, which is that space RTS that we finally get the sequel of 20 years later since Homeworld 2. So I'm early. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know. It's not horrible, but it does a lot of stuff that's really annoying and questionable. I don't know if y'all even played this, and you may not have. But so when you're fighting, so it's like all in 3D. Unlike StarCraft, which is just kind of like, you're on that 2D plane, so you're in space in this, so you can, position your units all over. Well, you would use like hyperspace to kind of, there you go, get the first down. Because I shrunk it, I had closed out the soundboard. Anyways, you would open up like hyperspace jump points, and you could jump your like fighter ships to behind enemy lines and stuff like that. That's one of the things that they took out of the game, and that was like a big strategy part, or part of everybody's strategy in those games is using that. The fights, while from far away, look pretty cool, because this is graphically, it's a beautiful game. But it really just kind of boils down to, you have a blob of ships that you take to another blob of ships, and they just pew pew until one blob wins. I don't know. It just feels, I don't know. Yeah, that's what it goes. Pew pew. That's it. It just, I don't know. And then the story, because they're trying to connect it to the last one. So it takes place 100 years later, and the like leader that you're playing as is like trying to find the protagonist or the leader from the second game, and I don't know, it just feels real space wizardy and I don't know, and that's not really
that
what
wizard
Homeworld
came
was.
from the moon. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, it just, I don't know, but like I said, I'm going to review it. So I'll play some more of the campaign, and I want to mess with the multiplayer, because maybe I'll actually dig that. But yeah, just some of the early game is not no, it's not sitting right. Not for me as a fan of the originals anyway. I jumped into Diablo 4, which I feel like everybody has, because I was looking at my friends list and like half of them was playing it the other day. It's a lot of fun. They revamped the loot system and stuff, and I tell you, because I already beat the campaign, but now they have it where once you make a character, you don't even have to play the campaign. You can just skip it and
It's been
go
that
out.
way for a while.
Okay, see, I didn't. That's right, because I think I had told you when my brother had mentioned that to me or whatever. But yeah, um, they have the Hell Tides, so they redid that, the whole thing, which is where areas of the map have like increased demonic presence and you get like better loot, and there's like a separate currency that you collect where you can open these chests that are only in those areas that will give you better loot. And like leveling is just super crazy. Like I think I'm like 48, and I really have only been playing like off and on for a couple of days. Not to mention like you get some pretty decent, legendaries pretty early on. Like I think I had my first legendary. I was like level 15 or whatever. At this point, I like them all legendaries, but there's a level above that now, which is the uniques. I can't remember what they're called. That are like the super rare drops that you really want to go for. But as far as like just the overall combat and the feeling of like Diablo 3 kind of vibes, where you just out there just kind of fucking up demons and getting your coin and leveling stuff up, I mean, it feels pretty good. So I think it's on Game Pass now too. So I encourage people to check
Yes,
it out.
it is on the Game Pass, and PC players are pissed because you have to have two, um, what do they call it, stores open at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you gotta have BattleNet and the Xbox app open at the same time to play.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they need to change that. But you know what? They probably will, because they'll probably, yeah, maybe they won't actually, because
Because God
BattleNet's
forbid
been
you gotta
around
have two
forever.
apps open on the window. I mean, I've only got four open right now while we record this
I mean,
podcast, and I'm
right? That's
pissed.
right. Like that's really not that big of a deal. But like, I don't know. People just they get mad at everything now, right? That's what happens. We'll talk about that a little later too, I'm sure. Um, what I played the most of is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Which like I was telling you, I thought I was towards the end and I was sad. Like I had stopped playing because I was like, oh man, I'm about to go confront dude. Like this is about to be the end. But you was like, nah, it's a whole lot left. So I'm hyped again because that game is really good. So I've been
I find it funny that
exploring.
I'm further in my second playthrough than you are in your first.
I Well, see, okay, so like because I've been like sprinkling in like the review games and stuff that I've been playing too. So I haven't been like dedicating too much time to it, and then I get sidetracked by like stuff like Diablo and everything. And like I said, I thought I was almost done. So, but now I'm about to go hard because I didn't realize that because yeah, it's really good. But like I was saying, I've been like doing like the side stuff, the side missions and everything, like the rumors and everything. I completed a couple of legendary hunts. um, yeah, that I don't know what style I like the combat thing, but like the combat feels pretty great. I love the lightsaber fights. Oh man, so good. Oh well, I mean I can talk about this because it's already out. So I've been playing Crow Country. Excuse me
That
for
game is
review.
cool as shit.
I really
Fuck
so
yeah, it is.
man, I think it's cool on paper, but like actually playing it, I just feel like is a hassle. Like,
Well, it's designed for the old school Resident Evil stuff.
yeah, I know, but like, and see, that's what okay, and I don't know who I was telling this. It might have been you. I just feel like, and I know that people are nostalgic for that, like, oh, the tank controls, oh, PlayStation 1 graphics, I'm gonna make a game to look like that. Nigga, I lived through that. Like, we had no choice. But I always would have rathered something more akin to what we have now. I don't want to go back and play I ain't even booted up a PlayStation game since I got a PlayStation 2. Probably that's probably a lie. PlayStation 3. Let's say that one. But you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm just not one that's nostalgic for that.
The idea of tank controls only works when you have static cameras.
But this doesn't just have tank controls. You can
This
change them.
You
Okay.
can actually. You
But
can.
but the problem with like not having tank controls and having like static camera positions is that up is no longer forward.
Oh, this
Right.
game has a rotatable camera, so
It
Oh,
does.
okay. So then yeah, tank control sucks.
yeah,
But
I don't
you
play. I
have
don't
to
play this
use
with
the.
tank controls. I don't because the novelty of this game is like you can walk through the environment if you don't twist the camera, like you'll miss. Like it's a requirement, like stuff you have
Yeah.
to see when you turn the camera.
Mm-hmm. The combat, like turning the gun and aiming and stuff, just feels real slow. Like it feels like those PlayStation games, and I'm like, and I didn't actually go that deep into the settings. Maybe there's a way to adjust that, or if that's just by design. I just like, man, I if I wanted to play Silent Hill on the PlayStation, I would play Silent Hill on the PlayStation. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna mess with it a little bit more though and get a review out. But it is
It's
cool in concept, and it's weird.
it's a very weird game. I love the theme setting though. Like you're in an
Yes.
abandoned amusement park, and like I get the Resident Evil Silent Hill references, but the game looks more like you're playing Final Fantasy VII.
Actually, you're right. Yeah, because your character is built like blocky, like Cloud and Nomura when you were running around. You're right. You're
What
right.
game is this again?
Crow Country.
Crow cut.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I remember looking at this game from that description alone, but yeah.
I
Mm,
think it's rad. I like it.
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm that old school
Um.
Resident Evil guy. What can I say?
Right. Yeah. Like yeah. And that's yeah. And that's why I love you. So that's Uh. I played Immortals of Avium for about 10 minutes, and then I only like I played as much as to confirm. Like I unlocked all the fuck it, the guns. We ain't gonna call them spells. And then I was like, damn, Ken was right. Each of these
It's just a gun.
this is a shotgun. This is a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You just
So yeah,
shooting magic bullets.
yep, that's it. That's it. So the novelty or coolness of that kind of wore off, and I was like, well, it was only like $7.99, so whatever. I mean, one day I may actually go and put some time in it, but I'm not in the. I
It
don't know.
just
It
dropped
looked
in
really cool.
Game Pass, I think.
It did. It did. I saw
Yeah.
that, but I had bought it because they sent me one of those like they did with Dead Space, one of those like I don't know if it was a just for you deal or whatever, but it was like $8.99 or something like that. Because I bought Dead Space like that too, the remake.
Yeah, I see those all the time.
Mm-hmm. I messed with Starfield. I played some of
Yeah.
the new update, and then I realized I was still playing Starfield.
Oh,
So
you
I went
stealing
ahead
my
and
joke?
uninstalled
What's
that.
wrong with you?
Yeah, get it.
I'll have to
Wait,
call you out
wait,
on
hold on.
YouTube. Like, I made that joke. You stealing my jokes?
Oh man, but yeah, that was super funny when you said that because that's facts though. Because I was like I was running around on I think a moon or something. I was like, oh okay, look 60 frames. This is nice, yeah. And I went back to my ship and I took off and it loaded and I was like, oh, okay. And I put in like to warp to some place and that was a load screen and I landed and I had to get scanned and I was like, huh, all right, uninstall. Like that was it. Like I just.
I ran
I mean,
around the main planet area and like I have an explosive shotgun and just started murdering NPCs and Andrea got mad at me and I was like, all right, I'm done.
nice. All right.
I was
I
literally
didn't
just
even think about
disintegrating
doing that.
motherfuckers with my shotgun. Like you shoot them and they just burst into flame like that John Wick, like John Wick
Yeah.
4 when he's like blowing them away with the fucking fire shotgun shells. Yeah, I was doing that to the
Yep.
NPCs.
The Call of Duty shotgun. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize you could do that to just the people in the main
I
city.
just seen
But
a
yeah,
dude sitting on a bench. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I beat this game. And she got mad. She's like, we need to talk. I'm like, bitch, I'll shoot you dicks.
oh man. Oh,
Take my
excuse me.
stuff back.
Oh, but yeah, no. So I stopped. I uninstalled. I'm cool on Starfield.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna install it. Like, yeah, man, I wish I could have played it at that frame rate, but
Yep. I just yeah. Oh, I messed with Redfall because I didn't like I said I don't think I played with the with the 60 frames per second patch.
Then you
So
realized
I
you were
ran
playing
around that.
Redfall.
Exactly. Yeah, and then it got uninstalled too, and I was like, oh, okay, because they didn't change. And I think actually I read that they're putting out. You'll probably have it in the news. Another patch that's going to fix that issue with the nests being damn near impossible when you by yourself. Because I went into a vampire nest to test it out, and that wasn't fixed. But anyways, yeah. So it's uninstalled. Um, Finally got to play Little Kitty Big City. Love Little Kitty Big City. That game is very cute. And I am a large black man and not afraid to say that. It's a very cute game, and I enjoy it. I have a little black kitty who is actually I think she's probably outside right now. But yeah, there's there's a dedicated meow button, and you can stretch, and you can make like something like a yuck face, like emote and stuff. Like it's I don't know if you're a cat person, like you probably should check it out. And it's on Game Pass, so I mean it's just a download.
Yeah, I played it
Um,
a little bit. I mean, it's neat.
mm,
I just
I
don't
was
know that I will ever I feel like an hour is about the most I would play something like that, and then I'd be like, I'm good.
I got you. It's a lot like the Untitled Goose game, but I like that game a lot. But this one you're a cat because like I was like you apparently was murdering civilians in Starfield. I found joy in just tripping people. So like you're a cat, and like it's in like Japan or something like that, and you can trip as people are walking by, just trip them, make them fall, and they'll drop whatever's in their hand. So like I stole someone's cell phone, and he was like chasing me around around the city, like, and he's like get out of breath, had to stop and was huffing and puffing. Like I finally just dropped it and gave it back to him. But like yeah, I don't know, it's just goofy stuff like that. I don't know. It's no, I dig it. I think it's kind of cute. Um, what else I play? Well, I played some Pokemon Unite. Because that game is pretty good. It's a MOBA, Pokemon MOBA. Played some Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. That game is a lot of fun too. And that soundtrack, oh man, that soundtrack is fire. Um,
The end of that game
uh,
is nuts.
I mean, the
I
beginning of
know.
that game is nuts. Cut the dude's fucking head off.
The
It
beginning of that
only
game,
gets crazier.
yeah. And I, you know what? When that happened, I was like, oh, like I did not expect that. I was like, well, wait, what? Like that was crazy.
Just cut a man's head
But
off.
that,
It's fine.
yeah, but that game is that game is good. Like I have yet to hear a beat in that game that I do not like. Like it's oh my god. But I'm anxious to get to dig more into the story because I know Anthony, you said that was like close to your game of the year or on the list for when it came out or something
Oh
like that.
yeah.
You
I
really
mean,
like that story.
it's one of my favorite gaming stories in the last like decade.
Yeah, so I'm super anxious to, to dig more into that. And that, I mean, I played more stuff, I'm sure, and I'm sure y'all will probably say something. Oh, I played Marvel Rivals. I'll talk about that real quick.
Are you
Yeah,
allowed to talk about that?
yeah, because I ain't on the creator program. Fuck them. Shoot. I ain't signed no contracts. But no, I mean you could stream it and everything, so it's you could do whatever. It's Marvel Overwatch, absolutely. With destructible environments, which is kind of cool. So you can not everything is destructible. It's not to the point of like Battlefield where every building can come down. It's just kind of certain points where because you push payloads on most maps. But they do have that. And okay, so the map that you wanted in over or the mode you wanted in Overwatch was it 2CP? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's actually called Assault, but yeah, we called it 2CP because there was two control
Okay.
points. You got to take the first one, then you got to take the second one.
Okay, they have that in this. So yeah, but that did. I couldn't remember if that's what what the mode actually entailed, but yeah, they do have a version of that. I can't remember what it's called, but they do have that in this, which is kind of cool. Um but yeah, it's literally Marvel Overwatch. I mean, even down to the classes like Doctor Strange is a tank. He puts up a shield as he attacks. He like gets consumed with dark energy. Then he has like a AOE attack that when people are around him, he can
I,
dispel that dark energy and burst it out.
I
Go ahead. What's
immediately
up?
am like questioning this game that you made Doctor Strange a tank. I feel like he would be a more support role.
Well, you know what?
Like that's just like a weird thing. Like am I the only one that like Doctor Strange as a character makes me feel like a support
Think
role?
no think Oh God.
Actually, let me open it.
Sigma.
I'll tell you who is who.
Think Sigma.
I
That's
could,
how
I
he
could.
would
I
operate.
mean, it's okay. Okay.
Right, opening
Yeah,
portals as shields and stuff
and
is how I'd
let me
assume
tell
he
you,
works.
so it has a long cooldown, but he can open up a portal and you get control of the other end. Like you can drive the other end to like behind the enemy's base and open the portal and y'all just drop in behind them. But it has like a super long cooldown on it. So yes, his portal can do stuff like, because I saw one video where somebody had the enemy team jumping off a cliff because he put the portal opening in front of their door and then put the exit like over the side of the map. And so when they just rushed out, because you know in Overwatch you just run out the door, they weren't paying attention, so they just went and killed themselves. Like there's some pretty neat stuff that he can set up. Um, but yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's Marvel Overwatch. I mean, if you like Marvel characters, you probably should
No,
check it
no,
out.
no, 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 no. Everybody on the show hates Overwatch, so you cannot enjoy this game.
Okay, well I don't hate Overwatch.
No, I don't hate Overwatch. I hate Overwatch's matchmaking.
I hate Overwatch.
See, there we go. There we go. I wanted to feel the hate.
There you go. Ryan will never play this game. So let you know.
No.
But like so just running down the roster real quick. So in the tanks they have the Hulk, of course. But it's Bruce Banner. So you can play and he works kind of like Diva. Where you start off as Bruce Banner and then you turn into the Hulk, and then his ult is like a ultimate Hulk form where he gets a little bigger and obviously stronger. And can pull off some crazy stuff. And then there's Doctor Strange, Groot, Magneto, and then Penny Parker from Enter the Spider Verse, the girl in the mech. I'm sure y'all saw that movie. And then they have attack roles, which is the Punisher, Storm, Hela, Black Panther, who everybody says basically plays like Genji, Magic, Iron Man, Spider Man, Scarlet Witch, who is OP, Star Lord, and Namor. And then the healers, which I actually like, I've been playing more of the healers, is Loki, who is my favorite, Mantis, Rocket Raccoon, and then Luna Snow.
Rocket
Uh,
Raccoon as a healer is very funny to me too.
well, he actually works more like you would like like a support. So he has his left trigger is his healing grenades, which bounce around like the environment, healing people as they go. But then he also puts out a like this device which will work as a respawn point if somebody dies, but it throws out like armor packs too. And then he has like a dash to get away. And then his ult is I can't think of who Overwatch it would be, but it powers up everybody's shots. So he puts down this amplifier that buffs everybody's damage who's like in range of it. So I
So
mean
it
he
sounds like
works.
they're making the exact same mistake Overwatch made at launch, because you rattled off like 20 damage heroes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say that. Yeah, there are hella damage heroes in that. Yeah, everybody else is lacking because yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
So the matchmaking times will be trash because nobody wants to play the other role. Okay, so yeah, they're literally following the playbook.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Because yeah, there are twice as many damage heroes as there
Now,
is everybody else.
do you have to like is it a role queue? Is it like you have to have one of each, two of each, something like that, or is it just open? Fuck it.
It's just open for right now, so that
So
might
again,
change when it actually
following the
comes out.
Overwatch playbook that they will eventually fuck
Mhm.
up. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, because it's just open for right now.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't
but
work
there
in the long run.
there can only be one. Actually, wait, yeah. So unless that's what you mean, but there can only be like one of each hero per team. So like you can't have a team full of Lokis
No, no, no,
in
no,
the
no.
ranked
Do
thing.
you have to have
Okay.
like one tank, one DPS, one support?
Yeah, no, they don't have that. Yeah, you could
Okay.
have a team full of damage if you want, because somebody tried that when I played, and of course we got fucked up, and I'm like, y'all, God, Jesus. But yeah, so
God,
yeah, yep,
this man, I'm having like fucking PTSD of like early Overwatch where everybody ran DPS and nobody played a tank or support and we got rolled. Okay.
yep. That's happens here, and of course, because I don't mind tank or support, so I put my time into both. Like I like Magneto, and I really like Doctor Strange, which is crazy because Magneto is my boy, but I really like Doctor Strange more as a tank. And then my healers, like I said, I love Loki. And then Mantis is cool, but Loki is definitely my favorite. But yeah, so I think they're going to have a closed beta or something sometime soon or whatever. But yeah, it's literally Marvel Overwatch in third person. Like that's what the game is. So if you hate Overwatch as Ryan does, this is not going to change your mind. This isn't going to be like, oh man, this is a great game style. No, just leave it alone. So, but if you are interested or you thought Overwatch looks kind of cool and you're like, oh shit, I fuck with Marvel, check it out because it's gonna be free to play.
Oh.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
know.
kind of fucked up Overwatch. So, man, they're jumping right to that one.
Yeah, they going, and that's actually what I'm curious about with it, because like, of course, with this alpha, they give you currency and stuff like that to spend in the store, because they had different costumes and some of the alternate costumes actually look
Costumes.
really cool. But I'm curious how they gonna do the monetization, like, because that's what's gonna make or
$25
break it.
Spider-Man skins.
Yeah, see, fuck that. Like, nah, man. Like,
Oh, people gonna buy it, dude. I saw Porsche Divas this weekend. I was like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
people actually paid for them.
Oh, 100%. Like, I seen it. I've seen a couple
People
times.
bought the terrible Cowboy Bebop skins.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
see those all the time. Like, everybody bought those.
Nah. And I love Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, I
and
wanted
didn't
them.
even
I wanted
reinstall the
them, but I
game
ain't
for that.
spending $70 or whatever it was to get them all.
No,
Shit, fuck
Wasn't
that.
don't
it like 20
again.
per and there was 4 skins? It would have been 80.
No. So there were 5 skins total. One of them you could get for free. They were $25 a piece, or you could buy them in a bundle. I think for like $60 or $70.
Fucking
Mm.
awful.
See, the
Awful.
only way that those would have been, and I don't know if they did this, if they had different animations, like they had all different voice lines that was like done by the people that did the stuff for that show. Like if it was a super immersive skin, like it was totally changed, you know what I mean? I think it might have been worth that price.
Those
But man,
were not. The Porsche skin does have completely different sound effects.
oh, okay. Okay. Is it 52? Is it, or how much is
They're
it?
$25 a piece, I think.
Oh, 25. 25. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I
I
guess
didn't. I don't buy that shit. Fuck that.
I would, no, I mean, I don't fuck with a Porsche. What the fuck? I'm gonna put Diva in a Porsche. I ain't in a Porsche. What the fuck Diva need a Porsche for? Anyways, that's all I got.
So, fuck, do you even need a Porsche for? I mean,
Right.
I don't know.
Porsche.
Sorry.
Oh,
God
excuse me.
damn it. Of course.
Porsche.
How very white of
He got
you.
3 of them, and
Yeah,
he got 3 of them coming through today.
I'm not saying it that way. Not when it's not Porsche Cayenne or Cayenne. Porsche Cayenne. That's how I'm fucking saying it. Your
Right.
SUVs that you buy that have a higher brand label on it, but ultimately it's just an SUV at the end of the day. Yeah.
That is what that is.
Porsche Chocobo.
Oh shoot. Kill him.
I'm surprised, to be fair, I'm surprised that wasn't a crossover with Final Fantasy 15.
Right?
I mean,
Audi,
it would have been like Mercedes or Audi, I think.
Yeah, they're little...
Audi, I believe, made the car from Final Fantasy 15, if I'm correct.
Well, Final Fantasy
Did
13
they
had a
really?
whole like clothing line, right? It's like she modeled
Yeah,
for.
she modeled for something. Yeah.
Yep, it did. I remember that.
I want
Yeah,
you all to go way back to when Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness had a crossover with Timex.
I could when Timex was still a brand, I could have gotten a crossover with them.
Yeah, she wore a Timex watch.
They are the highest brand of anything.
Remember the Mercedes Mario Kart crossover?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
It's in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe too. Like they didn't get
Yeah.
rid of it. I was surprised.
Was
God,
it
those are so stupid.
Sonic and All Stars had what was that? The Danica Patrick, wasn't it? She was driving
Oh, maybe.
like a
Sounds
she was
about
also
right.
driving a Mercedes car, right?
Sounds about right. I don't know.
She was also in
Pocket Bike Racer.
Pocket Bike Racer. Thank you.
That game
hold
is
on.
better than it needs
I think
to be.
you're right.
I swear there was like a real life person in Sonic and All Stars, and she was driving like a famous car, like a actual brand car.
Well, okay, hold on. I'm looking right now.
I swear this happened.
Transformed.
I know I'm old, but my brain does remember
I
things.
thought you were right too, because it was like a stupid Banjo-Kazooie.
I remember Banjo-Kazooie.
You could have the Mii. You could have I know. I know. Okay, so I know in the second one, I want to say it's the second one. The Ferrari is in it because it's
Outrun.
yeah. Oh, Danica Patrick, sorry, is in the second game. That's why.
Yeah, I
Yes,
knew she was
she's
in
in
one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, video games, man, they're fucking weird. Remember when they made a Yaris game? That was a thing.
I do
Oh
remember
wow, I
that.
do. I didn't play it, but
You know
I
they have
remember.
one wiper. They have one wiper that has to clean the entire windshield.
The
Wow.
Yaris does?
Yes. It's one of the weirdest things about that vehicle to me is like this has one wiper on the
Do
windshield.
they still make Yaris?
No,
I didn't
Oh,
think
no,
so.
they have.
They're waiting for their comeback. That's going to be Yaris Revenge.
There we go. That's the comedy I need on this show.
So the Yaris. I mean, the Yaris has a bunch of different names, like every other vehicle. Basically, is the Mazda 2 hybrid nowadays, except those actually have two wipers. But
I mean,
so yeah,
Eddie
Mazda
Murphy
2
in Coming to
hybrid.
America had wipers.
That joke's going over my head.
Anthony, why don't you talk about video games?
All right. I'm gonna start with one that Terrence mentioned, Little Kitty
Hey
Big City.
man,
I
I
did
did not
not.
mean to leave you hanging. I got that joke. Sorry, I was muted.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Anthony. My bad.
I didn't like Little Kitty Big City. It's not. It was just one of those. This isn't for me. I didn't like the controls of it. And that seems to be my honestly that seems to be Game Pass for me right now. So I'm like pretty much done with Game Pass because I just don't see a point of keeping it around when I don't use it. Really?
Yeah, if you don't use it, like there's no. That's why I canceled my PS Plus premium because I was like I wasn't using it. So
I also tried another Crab's Treasure.
didn't we talk about
Not-
that? Yeah, we didn't. You didn't care for it, right? Or was that in Discord? We talked about that.
I
That was
think
in
we talked
Discord.
about that in Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried it. I kind of knew I wasn't gonna love it, but the reason why I don't love it is totally different than what I expected. I expected it's a Souls-like. I'm not gonna enjoy it because it's a Souls-like, and no, I just don't think it controls very well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't care for how it played.
I
Same.
don't get it. So that was kind of like, all right, well, yeah. Speaking of things that I didn't enjoy, I tried the demo for Mullet Mad Jack, which looks fantastic.
It's an
It is such a
anime
cool
boomer
looking-
shooter, right?
but it's
Okay.
not. That's the problem,
What's
Ken.
that?
It's not a boomer shooter.
Hey, what I'm telling you is the PR email that I got uses those words. So
Right, and that's my problem with it. It is not a boomer shooter in the slightest. It is so the whole idea is that you're plugged into the internet and like your life is your like the engagement, and people lose interest pretty quickly. So you have 10 seconds to live. And you have to keep killing guys in fancy ways and keep your kill count up, but you also have a health bar so you can die from being shot too many times, but like you're kicking guys into fans, you're shooting them in the face, you're trying to move really quickly through, and I was just like, I didn't like it, and it's not the concept I don't like. I just didn't think it played as well as it should have, because I've also played a game called Post Void, which I really like, and it's the same sort of concept. Time is like you have very little time, and you have to start killing enemies and running through really quickly. But I think Post Void, you automatically move forward, so you're just kind of shifting left and right and kind of reacting. And in Mullet Magic, they want you to move around still, and it just didn't feel as good as Post Void, which is sort of a roguelike because and so is Mullet Mad Jack to some extent. The levels always change. There is a mode that you can turn on where you don't have the timer going down, but that's not the way they meant the game to be played. So it's not like there's a bunch of secrets in the levels like old boomer shooters. So I don't know. It's very disappointing. It's like, wow, this was a really good concept, and then you decided to make a game that I just don't think works as well as other games that have done this before. So it's not even like a complaint about not being what I wanted. It's like I don't even like what it is in comparison to other games that do the same things. So that was disappointing, but I'm glad I didn't spend money on it. I'm glad there's a demo. If you like, honestly, like if you like Doom Eternal, but you're like, I really wish there was a time limit and I had to keep killing guys really quickly. This is kind of that.
I'm gonna be
Just
honest
let
with
me.
you, Anthony. If a game says you like a time limit, I don't like you.
It depends on the game, and I just didn't think this way was uh as good, plain and simple. And I just canceled my Game Pass.
Live reactions.
Live reaction. Goodbye. Speaking of things I didn't love, Animal Well.
Oh wow! I like everybody's been talking about this game, and I wanted to try it, so I'm interested to know why you didn't like it.
So I get this one might be on me. It's not bad. It's not bad. I didn't like what I played early on. I was just like, this is not the time for this. It's one of those. It's one of those games where you pick it up, start playing it, you realize this is probably not what you're looking for right now, and it might be a game I come back to and love. But um I'm gonna bring up a game that like I find is sort of similar in concept. It reminds me a lot of Fez.
Yeah, I've seen that comparison a lot.
Okay, so I have not, because I haven't looked too far into this game, but like reading the descriptions and seeing a bit of the gameplay, I went, this is kind of like Fez. But Fez was never a game that was like out to kill you too. And this game has that, and like the puzzles are kind of hard enough as is, and then you're like making me go back to a checkpoint to do like I had to kill an enemy with a firecracker, and when I came to another room and had the same enemy, like the same sort of enemy show up, I threw the firecracker, and this time it threw the firecracker rather than dropped it at my feet, which is where I kind of needed it because the enemy kind of goes right over top of you and then drops down, and so I was just like, you know what, like I'm sure this is what somebody's looking for. This is not what I'm looking for right now. So, um, it is clearly a game that's like sort of cryptic and obtuse, and I kind of love that portion of it. But I also am gonna say it's a little too dark. I know that's kind of the point. But I don't know what it is with games that are like, I'm gonna make a really dark color palette. Um, you, I will understand that I'm in a cave without it being dark. Like I think Metroid shows you that you don't need a game to be pitch black to understand that you're in a cave. I don't think it adds anything to the mood. It like there's a difference between well, I guess a good example is because I've been thinking about Zelda a lot recently. Is like Tears of the Kingdom. When you enter a cave, it's not pitch black. When you enter the underground area, it is. And you as a player you aren't like I'm in a cave. It should be pitch black right now. It just that isn't that thought process isn't there. So it's just it's weird. I don't again, this game is like clearly going for something, and I haven't really seen everything that it's going for yet. But yeah, I was fairly early on, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't for me right now. I was looking for something that was a little bit more puzzle solvy and not so much like action oriented or like timing oriented. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm mixed feelings. It's one of those games though that like this is purely my opinion. I don't think there's objectively anything wrong with it. It's just like certain things where I'm like, yeah, I could use it to be brighter. But again, I'm the first thing I'm comparing it to is Fez, which is a super bright and vivid looking game. So again, on me. I played more Sandland, of course. I'm still playing through that slowly. I love that game. Speaking of colorful, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. That game reminds me of every unique and interesting PS2 sort of action RPG, and in the best ways. Like I've said, Dark Cloud, and it reminds me of Dark Cloud, not just in the visuals, but like the fact that you're building a village in it. And now you're not like directly building a village; you're just kind of telling people to go to a village, and then they open up shop as you solve their problems. But like the tank battle system is very unique. You can upgrade that a ton. Holy shit! Every vehicle you can upgrade a ton, and it's just so there's so much stuff going on, and you hit a point where you're like, okay, this is the end of the story, and then like no, there's like a whole next chapter of the story to happen, and it's just impressive that there's that much content in a game nowadays. Like everything, like it's a game that's finished. There's no DLC sort of for it, and it sort of stands alone as its own thing. And it just reminds me of. I hate to say this because it sounds like I'm just like shitting on modern games, but it reminds me of an era where more games like this existed. This game should not be the outlier, is my opinion. Like PS2 was like a great era because I guess it was because it was partially cheap to develop for. But like you had these really interesting concepts meld together into some really fascinating games, and you just don't see that anymore because they need with the amount of money that's spent on games, they need a guaranteed return on their investment. Which is, the reason why like Sony has stepped away from Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper and stuff, is because like they're gonna have to spend a bunch of money to make it look like a PS5 game. Insomniac obviously gets to still make Ratchet and Clank games because those are the best selling of those three series. But
I don't think that's the only reason they get to make them. They kind of carry the PlayStation on their back, Yeah,
that too. So, but
they get to make whatever they want.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things like, that I have a lot of fondness for that era, because I felt like that was sort of the apex of everything that games were working for. And then the PS3 era and the 360 era tried to change what video games were. And that's not in a bad way, but like, eventually there's a reason why there's like not a fondness for that time period in video games.
The 360 era, you mean?
Yeah, like especially like not early on. Early on we still had the weird stuff like Dead Rising and all that. But it became the first person shooter machines.
I think people are starting to get more nostalgic for the 360 PS3 era, especially today. Because
I think they're finally rediscovering the games that they skipped over, but we would have had more games like the games that they skipped over had they bought the games at the time.
No, right? That's fair. But I also think people are nostalgic for that era because, let's be honest, video games look really good today, but 360 games still look really fucking good, and I feel like that's where we kind of hit that ceiling of like, we don't need things to look better, we need them to just be fun.
Right.
Yeah, and I think, I think it's I just think Sandland is this game looks amazing. This game is what you like when you picture like all the cell shaded games from the GameCube PS2 era. You think they look like Sandland, but they don't. Sandland looks like Sandland, like, and that's because Akira Toriyama's art style has clearly been one of the best adapted art styles from manga. Like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot looks amazing, Dragon Ball Fighter Z looks amazing, Dragon Quest looks amazing. Like clearly his art style works. But Sandland is so fucking beautiful. Oh my god.
And
I
just love that game.
Yeah, it's like, and I just don't see enough people, not that I'm online like I was, but you just don't see people talking about that the same way they talk about other games, and it's a disappointment because again, it just kind of tells me that like this is going to become a game that is like a cult classic that people will rediscover later, but by that time it'll be too late. Like, I'm speaking of, because I brought up the 360 PS3 era, I miss Lost Planet.
Oh man, Lost Planet.
But which one?
I've
Well, 1 and 2, not the third one.
2 is
Well,
Monster Hunter multiplayer.
Part two, yeah, all of them. Like I think there was something interesting with all of them.
I love
Um,
3, the fucking space trucker like motif of that game.
I'm thinking the first game because it's so fucking wild. Like, is
First
there
one is
ways that
wild.
game can be better? Sure, absolutely. But like, they never innovated on that. They kind of switched the gameplay and then switched the gameplay again. But like, all of that series is like something I wish we don't get Dead Rising anymore.
Yeah,
Just
Dead
that's
Rising kind of got
you know
that last one was not great.
great, but like it's just all that stuff is like I miss games that were, and this is kind of because of, not to go off on a tangent because I've already have, mind you, so fuck it. That's the reason why I had so much hope for Embracer at one point, is because they were sort of reviving that sort of genre or that sort of mentality towards game creation. Like, why the fuck did we get Darksiders 3?
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason why we should have.
Right, and so
And
I
we're
was
not going to
like,
get
oh my
4
God.
at this point. No
I'm like,
way.
no, absolutely not. I think Genesis is the last game we're getting from that series.
Well, didn't 3 come out after Genesis?
Nope, 3 and then Genesis.
Huh. I remembered that wrong. They were close, but
They were close, yeah.
Yeah, they were like a year and a half apart, I think. But it's just, I had hopes for them because it was like, oh my God, somebody's doing the thing I love, which is, and I didn't expect it from Bandai Namco. I'll be honest, like Bandai Namco, they release some games I really like, but for the most part, I kind of know what I expect from them. You're gonna
an
get your Souls,
anime adaptation is what you expect from
Souls
Bandai
games.
Namco.
You're gonna get the just fine anime adaptation.
Yep.
You get some really good fighting games out of them, Tekken, Soul Calibur.
Remember when they pushed the shit out of Code Vein and nobody even talks about Code Vein anymore?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I got Code Vein in the Bandai Namco Humble Bundle, and
I bought
never
that
even
game
booted it
clearance
up.
for $10 and it's still sealed.
Dude, that
Nice.
game is just
It's always on sale too, like for like $7.99 or something. Like it's always
the
listed
most
on sale.
forgettable game in history that was marketed so much.
My son tried to play it because he loves Souls games, and he did not like it.
I mean, it's not
Yep,
great.
that's what I heard. Yeah, from
Like-
fans of Souls games, it just wasn't great.
But they did that. They have had some really good One Piece games. World Seeker was kind of like, wow, this is kind of insane for a weird open world RPG in the One Piece world. Then they just had recently that JRPG one that they did.
Yep, I reviewed that. That was good. Odyssey.
Yeah. So it's just it's one of those games where it's like, if you're gonna ask me like from right now, not that there's a lot of things that compete with it because I don't have modern consoles. Sandland's my game of the year, like hands
I
down.
respect it. Sandland is good. I like that game.
And if you've heard any of the good things I'm saying, because I don't want to be like I'm shitting on modern games. That like incorrect. We'll talk about a game that I am anticipating that I cannot play later on, I am sure, in this podcast. But it just it brings back a nostalgia, despite it being a game I did not play. Back on the PS2 because it didn't exist.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like, and I say this with no like. Stellar Blade is the most PS2 game I've played in a long time, and I think that's why I love it.
I'm glad to hear that. Like, I'm hoping that developers start chasing sort of that sort of concept rather than no one's beating Sony at their game at prestige. No one's doing that. Stop trying to make your prestige sort of titles. You're not beating God of War. You're not beating Horizon Zero Dawn. You're not like but do something. Like, I'm really glad that Stellar Blade is as successful as it is. And if you're telling me it's like a PS2 game, that makes me want to play it more. Like, there's just a different way of developing games at that time, where I guess because the limitations of the console, like you could only get it so realistic. So like, there's a reason why I like Metal Gear Solid 2 over Metal Gear Solid 4. and like that's when that I started to realize like maybe I don't love these big game titles as much, because it's like they're going for this weird cinematic thing, and it's like I don't need that. Like I love playing the game part. And I'm bringing up Metal Gear Solid 4 because I'm still salty that I just did not like that game. But
Man, I didn't know you didn't like it. All right, man.
I like
you know
4, but it's not as good as 2. It's just not.
I am also not a huge fan of 4. So
Well,
4
okay.
so 4 is a game that it's really there to wrap up all the bullshit, and the game itself is just like, I don't remember the game, I remember the cutscenes.
Oh, okay. You know what? Maybe that's why I like it more, because it wrapped up all the bullshit. Like, I like it because of the story, I guess. But I mean, it's not my favorite.
The
Like, it's not my favorite.
like the gameplay is not nearly as innovative as 1, 2, and 3 are. And it really just kind of serves as a catalyst to go from like cutscene to cutscene. And I think that's why some people don't care for it as much, because it's not as interesting to play. So
there's some interesting concepts that I wish was in a better game and less of a movie. Like the Octo Camo was really interesting. And just kind of bring back or because I'm already talking about Hideo Kojima, like Death Stranding feels sort of like a PS2 game. Here's this concept that I have. This shouldn't exist. This shouldn't exist in this world.
Yeah, who the fuck is gonna make a fucking DoorDash simulator?
Yeah, exactly. And where like, oh, you're walking up and the rocks are wet. Well, you slipped and fell and you destroyed all your packages, sucker. Like, what the fuck? And like, yeah, there's just, you know, I'm excited for things that are weird, and Sandland is weird, and also a manga that I read a bit of. So like, there's also that, but like, yeah, it's just like, holy shit, like this is the exact way I wanted to experience this. And I've gushed about Sandland enough. So I've also played Vampire Survivors. That Contra DLC is crazy.
Oh, dude, that shit is awesome.
Is it
it's so good.
Of course, it's good. It's Vampire Survivors. It's Vampire Survivors, and like it's dumb. It's so dumb. Like everything they've, because I hadn't played the Among Us DLC either.
Oh, that shit is good. That shit is really good.
It's so dumb. These are all so good. Like this game. Speaking of games that just are so fucking weird that they just, at some point you go, how does this fucking exist? Like that game shouldn't exist. That DLC just doesn't. My brain's like, I'm playing fucking Vampire Survivors, and I'm still playing like Contra. Like I'm going through the Contra level.
It's the best Contra game since fucking Super C.
Wow.
What are those called? They're not options. The little floaty things that go by. You know what I'm talking about?
Little floaty things. What do you?
Yeah, they kind of go in like a wave pattern.
Oh God!
Like the ammo, guns,
power ups.
Yeah, the power ups. Like you get those as they fly by.
Out of the things from Contra. So you, and then it's like now you're fighting mechs and stuff. And
so is the map different?
Yes, it's entirely new map. Yeah, it's entirely new maps. And they look like Contra. Like you got the fucking bridge from Contra is in there. It's awesome.
Have you run into the boss?
No. I only played like 1 or 2 levels. Yeah.
The boss is in it, and apparently it plays like the boss that you're thinking of, probably.
Oh, you talking about level 1 boss?
Yeah.
The wall?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
And you only get to move left and right.
Oh man, it's so good. If you like, dude, fucking $2.50. Buy the shit.
I mean, I literally bought it for my Switch because I was just like, I should just have this with like the ability to just bring this with me.
It's so good.
I know it's
I
on
need to
mobile
play it some
phones,
more.
but like I just don't use my mobile phone for gaming, so there's just no point of installing it. I was like, you know what? Here's my money. I've already bought it on PC, but here's my money for the Switch version. Yeah. And Contra. I know everybody was like, why not Castlevania? No, Contra works so much better. Castlevania was going to be more Vampire Survivors.
Yeah,
You
Vampire
know?
Survivors was already Castlevania.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I love that. And then I have two sort of indie games. I don't know if anybody played like Flash games back in the day and remember Armor Games.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Armor Games has started like selling stuff on Steam. They've been around for a while, but they've like um they have The Last Stand, which is the sort of tower defense where you shoot zombies and stuff. So they've had that up on Steam or for whatever. I was watching a YouTube video where somebody's like, "These are reverse escape rooms," and I'm like, "That sounds like an interesting game." And I think I recognize the name of the developer, which is Script Welder, but the series is called Don't Escape. So really, it is right in the title. And there's the Don't Escape trilogy, and then there's Don't Escape 4 Days to Survive, I think is what it's called, which I already had because it was a point and click adventure. So I bought the Don't Escape trilogy and then found out the same developer also made the Deep Sleep trilogy. So I bought both of those as well. Both of those. So the easier one to talk about is Deep Sleep trilogy, which is literally just a point and click adventure, but it's horror themed. And starts off really basic, like in the first game, and in the second game, it gets he kept. I shouldn't say he. I don't know if the gender of Script Welder, but Script Welder made some really interesting changes, like new additions to how the games work in each one. So as I went through the Deep Sleep trilogy, it tells like a complete story, and it was sort of really smart because right as I was ending the third game, I knew what was starting to happen, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm going through this moment again from like the second game, I think." Um, really, really smart stuff. So Don't Escape is the reverse escape room. And the first game is you are a werewolf that knows that the full moon is coming. And so you have to lock yourself in a cabin so you don't hurt anybody. And what a brilliant idea. Instead of trying to open the door, you're trying to lock yourself in. And what's great is when you fail, the developer explains to you sort of what you did right and what you did wrong, but not in the way where it tells you straight up. It's like, oh, you took the sleeping potion, but the sleeping potion didn't work. You took the weakening potion, I should say. You took the weakening potion and it didn't do anything. So there's some really interesting stuff. I'm now on the second game, and the second game is so much harder because it is everything. You only have so many hours before the zombies attack. Your friend is bitten, and you have to set up like a bunch of stuff. And every time you can find a gun in it, and every time you fire the gun, it alerts more zombies. So when they show up, you have to deal with more problems. And you can help people. And it's clear that you're not supposed to do everything to survive, but you get different endings based on who survives and who doesn't. And this was a game that was built for Flash. Like, it is insane. I am stunned that I had never heard of these games because I played Flash games for a while and I knew Armory games, but I played the Last Stand when I went to Armory games. I didn't play Don't Escape, and so like I'm stuck on the second game because like every time I do something, it's like, this is going to take 4 hours to complete, but if you have someone with you, it takes less time. But that time, and traveling from location to location takes time, and sometimes you have to double back because you can't do a thing. What a brilliant idea for a game. And I haven't played the third one in the series because I'm going through them in order. But I do know that the fourth game is very similar, and it's like a post-apocalyptic survival sort of thing. But you change, the game changes based on who you have with you, and events change, and there's so much, like, it feels like this is not a term I'm trying to coin, but it feels like a macro tabletop RPG, sort of like, rather than having dice rolls, and like combat is purely based on like the choices that you make through dialogue or actual movement, and everything sort of works around that. And to prepare that much content for like things that you do is kind of crazy. So like I'm kind of still in the experimentation phase where I'm trying to figure out like, okay, if I do this, what happens? And I don't see that from a lot of games necessarily, especially like what's presented as a point and click game. So like I found out I could take a shopping cart, and the shopping cart allows me to carry certain things. And originally I was like, I have to carry them one at a time because it's not all going to fit in the shopping cart. But then later on, I'm like, I wonder if I can carry all this stuff in the shopping cart, and it does work. Just a really interesting series of games. So if anybody likes point and clicks, Script Welder makes some of the best. Holy shit! Like I've not enjoyed a point and click adventure like this in a while, where I've been like, I need to keep trying because I'm going to figure it out, because nothing ever feels like moon logic is the term that people have coined for that. I don't feel like I ever have to make some sort of bullshit move that I'm just expected to know. and like even like early Flash games like Red Room or Crimson Room, sorry, that's what it was called. I felt like there was some stuff that you just kind of had to know to be successful at it, and it's like, no, everything in Script Welder's games is kind of there, and they will give you the answer, but you might not know that what you're looking at when you see it. Really enjoyable series. So and they're making a new Deep Sleep game, which like it changes from first person to like third person, and it looks like it's gonna have a little bit more RPG elements to it. So I'm really excited because that was a really good horror. It made me jump a couple times, and like, yes, they're jump scares, but they were never like something jumping at the screen at you. It was always like, I'm in a room looking with a flashlight, speaking of things that need to be dark, like purposely. So like I'm moving the flashlight around and something moves across the screen really quickly and runs out the door. And I was like, oh shit. I do like a bit of that, especially when it's not screaming in my face Five Nights at Freddy's style. So yeah, not a game series I'd heard about until I watched a YouTube video, and I had to stop because I was just like, I can't spoil any more of this. So yeah, that's it for me. Like, it's been a lot of indie games. I've tried playing Zelda because I've been watching a lot of videos on Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, and I'm like, I need to just go back and finish both those games again.
Yes, you do. Especially,
I need to finish Tears of the Kingdom for the first time, but I want to play Breath of the Wild again. So
that end sequence of Tears of the Kingdom is so fucking good. All right, Wombat, show us what you got.
I haven't really played anything.
Okay.
So it works.
Simulator.
Yeah, that's not a simulator, unfortunately. I haven't really. I mean, I played some Helldivers 2, played some MLB The Show, some of the the same stuff that I always play. Rotwood. I did start Dragon Quest 8 on mobile, so I'm skipping 7 for now because the only way to play 7 is on DS, and I just don't seem to have the time to play on my DS, but I can play on my phone much easier. So
I think 7's also the longest of all the games.
It is. Yeah. Well, 9 I think technically is the longest if you do everything.
9 is
but
a pain in the ass though to do everything because you have to
yes.
meet up with people, or what I do is you just have to have an action replay and tell it to unlock all those quests.
So yeah, that's the way to do it. But yeah, so I started that. I'm not very far into it. I'm trying to think of. I mean, I played a little bit of Little Kitty in the Big City. I enjoy that game. Yeah, I think that's really it. My son has Helldivers now on Steam, so I'm sure he and I will play that at some point this week. But I've been doing a lot of real world stuff, unfortunately, the last couple of weeks, so I haven't really had much time to to invest in games.
All right. Well, I can wrap it up pretty quickly. What did I play? I don't think we talked about it last week, but I played the new Braid Anniversary Edition. Which
Why can't I find it in the menu? It's so hard to change from best-selling to alphabetical. Jesus Christ, you're writing puzzles and you can't figure out a fucking menu system, champ? Like,
I
fuck
can't
you.
stand this bitch.
Yeah, god damn it. I fucking hate him.
all the Jonathan Blow hate aside, that is still a classic game. I love that game. It's really interesting to hear the commentary when you play through some of those levels. You kind of get the condescending attitude, but that's just because you know him, because he doesn't deliver it that way in the game. And the new levels are pretty cool. So like, it's a solid package of a really, really, really good game. So
Do you know who was originally doing the art for that game?
I do not.
Ed McMillan of
Oh,
the Meat Boy guys.
Meat Boy, yeah.
Can you imagine that game with a different art like looking more like Meat Boy? I don't think that game would have been as successful.
Yeah, because like when that game first came out, everybody was like, "Oh, he looks like Mario hopping on Goombas," and
that's the by design.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Speaking of old games, boomer shooters, and seriously, what the fuck? I reviewed PO'd Definitive Edition. That's a game. I mean, I don't even know how to talk about that game. It is the game we as kids were like, oh, it's a game where you hit farting butts with frying pans, and I'm not being joking about it. That's literally how the game starts.
Yes.
It is. I don't want to say it's ahead of its time, but it was kind of ahead of its time because like it came out in a time when those kind of shooters were all like linear corridor-based shooters, and this game had like a lot of open areas. Eventually, you get a jetpack and fly around. Like it was more akin to Duke Nukem than Doom, as far as like its level design had a lot more verticality to it. It's an interesting game. It's night dive, so you know the port is excellent. But at the same time, like it's still fucking PO'd, you know? Like who has nostalgia for PO'd in this world?
I mean, it's one of those few ones where like if you ask me to like even the only cover I know is the black cover that has just the green slime font on it.
Dude,
I've never seen the PlayStation copy.
Do you know the story of the game? Like
you're a chef.
You're a chef that was on a marooned spacecraft. And you wake up and all your crew is dead, and then you have to go, like literally it's a paragraph that the game starts out with the chef writing a letter to his mother. And that's pretty much all the story you get.
Yeah, interesting. By the way, I forgot to mention I did for the first time because I've never actually gotten to play it. I've watched videos of it. I did play that Power Slave Exhumed.
Oh, that thing is so good.
Yeah, what a weird fucking game that is, though.
A Doom Metroidvania? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed Power Slave a lot back in the day.
That one that Night Dive just did contains both the PlayStation PC, all the PlayStation PC and Saturn stuff all mixed together.
Nice.
Because they were different games.
They were, yep.
So,
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that Night Dive version's just really good.
Yeah, I liked that game. That game and Strife and all those other.
Strife is so good. Oh
yeah.
Shit! Speaking of games I discovered from YouTube.
Yeah, Strife is excellent. Strife had 14-year-old Ryan in a chokehold.
It sounds like
it does seem like a 14-year-old Ryan ass game.
Yes, it was.
I remember Sin.
Sin was so good.
Yeah. Didn't it get an expansion too or something like that?
Yeah, it had one expansion and they tried to bring it back a few years ago and it just didn't work. So
I didn't even know that. All right, yeah, I loved Sin.
I forgot to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Does PO live up to the Night Dive quality, or is it like this game is kind of bad anyways? So
I mean, you can, like I said it in my review, you can tell they didn't put as much work into this as something like Power Slave or. But what is here works. Like they did a really nice job upgrading like the visuals and like high resing it and like. I mean, I don't know. Y'all in the chat never responded, but I have a code for PO'd and Braid if anybody wants them.
I just don't know if I can play them because I don't know.
No, it's
what.
PO'd is on Xbox One. I know that for a fact.
Okay, well then I might take it from you because I've never played it.
Yeah, it's dude. There's really like, I'd be interested to hear somebody talk about that game that didn't play it originally because I have the nostalgia of being like, oh, this is one of the few half decent 3DO games, which doesn't make it a good game. It just makes it a good 3DO game.
There is a difference, apparently.
Oh, there's 100% a difference. The 3DO had what, 2 or 3 somewhat decent, like Need for Speed, and boy, I'm really stretching here. I don't remember any other things that was like really good.
Mm.
Like it had passable games. Like Naughty Dog's first game is on the 3DO.
The Warrior.
Yeah, Way of the Warrior, which was basically a Mortal Kombat clone with a white zombie soundtrack.
Oh wow. Okay.
I forgot to mention, by the way, that I did while we're talking about boomer shooters. I did pick up the. They had all the Hexen Heretic games on Steam for $1.99 for all 4, 5 of them, whatever they are. And so I played Heretic this week. And I mean, that game is still good.
Hexen 2 was such a weird game. Like,
yeah,
3D and like, oh man, that was.
Yep. But I mean, those games are still fun if you like that kind of game.
Oh, dude, Heretic and Hexen are fucking classics. Like people talk about Doom and Quake, but Heretic and Hexen were so good.
Yep. A lot of really fun weapons and good death animations for the enemies in Heretic.
I rolled a rogue in Diablo 4 last night. That's fun to play as a rogue. And
yeah,
I only played like 45 minutes and I'm already like level 10. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yep. Yeah, man, you level up super fast. Like it's and because I'm playing a rogue too. Like I really like the moment to moment of the rogue.
Yeah, he's fast, he's fun, like that's yeah. Eventually maybe I'll get my money's worth out of Diablo. Like and then I spent a lot of time playing Stellar Blade. I've committed now. I'm gonna 100% that game.
Platinum.
I don't even care about the trophy. Like it's more like this game has like a massive list of like shit you can collect, and it's all organized neatly so you can like track it for the shit that you missed.
Oh, that's nice.
So like I did all the fish. I got all the cans up to the point where I am. There are 4 cans in the final area, which I can't go to until I do everything else. And now I'm working on like the memory sticks and the boxes that are scattered throughout the world. I think I've just committed to 100% that game, because I just like playing it. And it's going to be my Tears of the Kingdom where I don't finish it for like another 20 hours or something, just because I don't want to miss the stuff. So I've been enjoying the hell out of that. I played yes, I'm playing Hellblade. I didn't put my social media stuff out there. I'm gonna write my review tomorrow. I think it goes live Tuesday, like when the game goes live on Game Pass. I finished it yesterday, so I will talk about that game next week. So, and then of course I played way too much Overwatch because that's just what I do. And that's it. I think that's it. So now we can talk about what's coming out this week, which I haven't looked to see.
Of epicness.
Well, I don't know if this is a big week or not. I didn't look. All right. Neptunia, Sisters versus Sisters. This is Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. Yes, there's a Neptunia game coming to the Xbox, which is crazy.
You can tell it's a quiet week because Neptunia is filling the space It won't compete with bigger titles, so it'll just take the shit off week.
Well, we forget Hellblade 2 is out this week.
Yeah, but it's on Game Pass, which is it's not fighting for money.
That's
I hate to say it that way.
that is where we are at this point in video games right now, isn't it? Like, but it's on Game Pass.
You know what? It is important because it's like you're not buying. I mean, if you pay for Ubisoft Plus, you know what I mean? You don't have to pay the $70 or whatever it is for the new game. So it's just like, devaluing of games and like quicker than ever.
I saw the funniest tweet the other day was a guy was like, I don't subscribe to Game Pass because I prefer to buy my games. So if a game is on Game Pass, I'll buy the PS5 version. I'm like, wait.
What the fuck?
Like,
Wait.
You do know the games on Game Pass can still be purchased, right?
Right.
And you could just buy it on, like, because you clearly have an Xbox because you said I'm an Xbox gamer. But if a game goes to Game Pass, I will buy it on my. I'm like, dude, I can't even. Y'all got some mental health issues.
I'm gonna spend the extra money because Guerrilla Games worked really hard on this, and I'm gonna spend the $10 for the PS5 copy because the PS4 copy you're really stealing from them if you buy it and then upgrade to the PS5 version.
I didn't even know Butthead was on the show.
Butthead was also in Ken's mentions back when that was a thing. So
yeah, because I told people just to buy the PS4 version because like it saves you $10, and he's like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "Because I care about my money more than I care about fucking PlayStation."
Right.
That 10 extra, you'd be better off saving the money and then putting $10 in an envelope and sending it directly to Gorilla, and saying, "This is for some people's coffee."
Here's a
fucking
tip,
asshole. Yeah.
I don't understand people's like fucking bootlicking of corporations. I will never understand it.
I don't either.
I can't ever hear any stories like that without thinking of the Akewood comic where he says, "You wrote a $10,000 check to Oreo?" And he says, "Yeah, I wanted to have a little walking around money."
I remember if I've seen that or you have said that before, but because I remember cracking up and I'm like, oh my god, like man,
you just wanted the corporation to have a little walking around money.
Yeah, and that's what these people were like. They are not your friends. Like, my god.
No, they don't give a fuck about you. They just want your money.
That's it. That is it.
Also, Paper Trail. System Shock remake making it to consoles this week. I'm super pumped to play that.
Is it finally coming? Okay.
Yeah, console version. PC version came out a while ago. X Defiant is releasing this week.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. Check that out.
Doug's Nightmare. Survive on Raft.
Good old Doug's Nightmare.
You can't say Doug when I don't think about the Nickelodeon Doug.
Yeah, I instantly was like, did it have something to do with Patty Mayonnaise? Like, is he missing? Like, that's instantly what I thought.
I love how you can tell like what era someone grew up in because it was always Disney Doug for me.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was on Nickelodeon for when it first came. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy! I forgot it was on Disney.
Oh, you 100% can like. It's so clear the generational gap. Like when Drew and I used to chat, and I'd be like Transformers, G.I. Joe, and he'd be like Power Rangers. I'm like, yeah, you're definitely a different era.
Also, I should be getting a code for that because it's actually coming to old consoles. The System Shock, because I backed it way back when.
Yeah, Night Dive's pretty good about supporting the older consoles too. So
I'll be getting my physical copy at some point for the PC.
Oh, nice! You got a physical one?
They do physical PC games still.
I bought like $150 version for that.
Oh, you went all in. Nice. Yeah,
I wanted that game to exist, and then they was shortly canceled after, and I was so pissed. I was like, I'll never fucking buy another Night Dive. And then they came back and were like, okay, look, so we're starting over from scratch. Like, we realized we were making our own game rather than a remake. And it sounds like they're sort of now, as the console version's getting released, because now you'll be able to play as a female character too. that they're kind of adding some of that content back in, but not to the point where they're like redoing the whole like level layout. So I'm excited. But yeah, I should be getting that at some point this month.
I have an interesting question. So you're getting a physical copy for PC?
Yes, and not the PS4.
Do you have a disk drive?
Yeah.
Huh. I haven't had a
Wow.
disk drive in my PC in like 5 years, 6 years.
The disk
Yeah.
drive
Dang.
in my PC is dead, actually. So I have a portable one.
I have an external
Huh.
one I used to use to burn stuff, but like,
I still have that. I use that for when I'm making like CDs or something for people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't. Even when I was building computers, like I stopped putting disk drives on them for the builds. Like,
I have
'cause, you know.
over 2,000 CDs, and they have to get into the computer somehow.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Yes,
you
I
just
yes,
throw
I
them
have
at the screen. That works too.
You fucking aren't allowed in here in my CD collection.
right. Keep that man away.
All right. Crown Wars. It'd be better if it was Clown Wars. Crown Wars.
War.
The Black
Clown
Prince.
Wars. That would be awesome. Man.
Eternal Threads. Galacticare. That's the future healthcare system in the galaxy. Haunty.
We ain't ever getting healthcare.
No, we're never getting healthcare. Morbid, The Lords of Ire, Rocket Rumble. The next Digital Eclipse game is dropping this week. Wizardry: Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord remaster.
That's such a weird pull. Wizardry? I mean,
If you know who runs Digital
Wizardry's up.
Eclipse, it makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh.
Wizardry was a big deal.
Yeah, the guy that runs Digital Eclipse is a very old school gamer. Like, dude has like fucking ColecoVision shit. Like, he's
okay.
super cool
Okay.
dude. Like I chat with him on Twitter all the time. He's a super cool dude, but yeah, he's definitely very old school. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. That seems weird, right? Is that a new game?
Yeah, there's like a expansion or something they're adding on to. That game has been around forever.
What game?
Xenoverse 2?
Xenoverse
Oh,
2?
Xenoverse 2, yeah, no, like literally they've been adding. I mean, fucking Kakarot still gets DLC. Those are the
Yeah,
like,
but this
longest
doesn't-
supported games.
This doesn't say DLC. It just says Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Is
What-
it coming to a new
what-
system or something?
Maybe it's next gen
Oh,
version.
it is. Yes, that is. It's the next gen version. That's
Okay.
right. That is launching. Yep, that's what it was.
I like how we still call it next gen 4 years in. That's cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
right?
That's not our fault.
This is true. This is true.
The Glass Staircase. Whatever that is. Juicy Realm. No, I'm not in the Switch games. PlayStation 5.
The glass staircase would be really embarrassing to fall down because everybody underneath you could just watch you fall down the stairs.
Vertigo 2.
Hold
What?
on, Vertigo 2. Please tell me that's based off of Alfred Hitchcock's.
Vertigo? Oh man, that's awesome if it is.
What was the game that you mentioned? Was not a Switch game specifically.
Juicy Realm. Do you really want to Google Juicy Realm?
You're goddamn
Juicy
right, I am.
Realm.
I mean, listen, Anthony done screwed up his Google searches a long
I-
time.
Right. It's
I don't
already
care.
messed up.
Okay, so the glass staircase. If I say the words puppet combo, does anybody know that?
What the fuck?
No. What's
Puppet
that?
combo. Puppet Combo is a horror dev that makes like low poly horror games that look like PS1 games. It's
Oh.
Resident Evil. Glass Staircase is like some Resident Evil shit. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Okay.
Huh.
When you say
post
juicy,
that in chat.
whenever you say juicy, I just think of juicy fruit, which also really tells my age.
Juicy
But
fruit.
it's
'Cause I
also
can
it's also gonna move you.
That's what I was gonna say. The
Yep.
song immediately pops in my head every single time somebody says juicy fruit. I'm like, juicy fruit.
Can
It's gonna
please
move you.
guess what? By the way, I posted the GIF from the Puppet Combos game there, the Glass Staircase.
Oh God, she's doing the fucking
The turn.
the turn.
So guess what Juicy Realm is?
I don't want to.
Is it a realm? Is it an entire realm of those clothes that say "juicy" on the butt?
No, Juicy Couture. Yes, and all the characters have a juicy written on the ass. No, it's a roguelike game in which you must square off against bizarre fruits all across the world The line between the animal and the plant world has become blurred, and the food chain has been completely disrupted. Jesus
Okay, that's
Christ!
kind of
Enough with the
interesting.
roguelikes.
But why everything is a roguelike?
Vertigo 2, because I had to look it up, is a single-player VR adventure. Explore the depths of the vast quantum reactors you descend to finish your journey home. It actually looks pretty neat, except that it's a VR game, so I'll never play it.
Mm.
All right. Wuthering Waves, Dave the Diver, Godzilla content pack. Those are words I never thought I would utter in my
Yeah,
life.
that content pack's got something weird about it too, right? Like it's time limited.
I don't
Like
remember.
you can only
I would-
download it between now and a certain period of time, but it wasn't clear from the announcement if you could just download it during that time or if you could only play it during that time.
Is this these motherfuckers
Uh,
think they're Nintendo or something? Like, what are they doing?
It's the
Right.
Godzilla license is a pain in the ass, and I don't know. Oh God! So I don't know who has given the rights to. Like Toho has to be okay with it ultimately, but I don't know if it's a team up with Legendary's Godzilla or with Toho's Godzilla.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, it's dumb. The whole thing is dumb.
When you say
So-
Toho, my brain goes places I can't.
To all the Toho games there.
No. We're just gonna move on.
No, explain yourself, Ken. Because going over my head, and some of the audience might not understand either. And now I want
Hoes and hoes.
to.
There
what
you
he's
go.
thinking of.
And Ryan's got it. He's on board with me.
All right.
You know, the people are weird online now.
Ken's
They blur
booting
their
up-
feet.
Ken's booting up his Feet Finder account as we
Gotcha.
speak.
Hey,
Wiki
Wait,
feet.
I have
Wiki
seen
feet.
that on like Twix where people like the girls usually have like a full body, but then like the feet are blurred, and I'm like, that's weird. Like,
No,
the
that's
blur?
because there's
Like,
weird.
weirdos out
nothing's
there
for
that.
free.
Yeah,
Well, that's
they-
like armpits became
wow.
a thing
They'll
too.
Steal their
Is that-
steal their shit and put them on.
The
some
Foot
website.
Wiki or
They-
whatever.
they,
yeah.
What is wrong with people?
they sell
man?
pics of that. That's where you can buy those pics.
Mm.
Toho.
Okay, so I looked up Wuthering Waves. It just doesn't end. All the games, it's a gotcha game with an open world aspect. It has been compared to other titles such as Genshin Impact.
Of course it has.
Oh fuck. The Morbid, the Lords of Ire, which is a Souls-like. I played that this week. As soon as I got to the first place, and then like it respawned the enemies, and it popped up telling me what area
says-
I was in. It looked
it says-
like Dark Souls. I was like, all right.
Bonfire lit. God damn it.
I'm like, we're done. We are done. Xbox One and PS4. Like who? Apparently, more than 50% of people still play those, which is crazy. Paper Dash City Hustle. And then. Whew, that's a title. Alright, I'm going to try to read both of these. The Quintessential Quintuplets, 5 Memories Spent With You, and the Quintessential Quintuplets, Memories of a Quintessential Summer.
The whole title?
No, that's 2 games.
Japanese. It was a Japanese manga, and I'm sure it's not weird at all. Sure of it.
Manga.
Man. Like, how's that
Perfectly,
gonna fit on the
perfectly
title
normal.
Yeah, 100% normal.
I don't see the problem.
Whoa.
Oh man. Okay. Wow. What?
I just pulled
Okay.
up the Switch list. Hold on.
Oh, hold on. Okay, no. I knew the sad part is like from the title alone. I'm like, I bet it's a guy who ends up with a harem of like quintuplets as like the other characters, and it literally is high school student. I'm not reading his name. Is an academically gifted student and leads a difficult life. His mother has died. He has no friends, and on top of that, all his father has encouraged a large amount of debt. An opportunity presents itself when the rich blank family, because I'm not fucking trying to read Japanese names, transfers to his school. The main character is promptly hired as a paid tutor. However, much to the main character's dismay, he discovers that his 5 charges, identical quintuplet sisters of varied personalities, have no interest in studying at all and have abysmal grades. Stop being weird.
I don't think they can. Like, man.
Alright, I'm going to go through the Switch games and I'm going to have to take a break because I drank too much water. But boy, it's going to take a little bit to get through the Switch games. Alright, we're going to go Adrenaline Rush, Highway Extreme Traffic Racer, that's pretty normal. Astroblade DX, okay. Eternal Light, sure, fine. Finger Suck.
Okay.
Oh man, that
Okay.
might be that might be the new leader in the clubhouse.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. Don't Google it, Anthony. Please, God, don't
Use-
Google it.
Use your finger like a magnet. Simply suck up all the balls and drop them into the tube.
Ooh.
Alright. Undercat, Toon Racing, Beast Watch, Meat and Mayhem,
Okay.
Loving
Is
Life.
it meat? MEAT?
Yes, MEAT.
Okay, good.
Hyperdimension Neptunia, Rebirth 1, 2, and 3 are coming to the Switch.
I want to
this
know
week.
why Anthony said good.
Because if it fucking was spelled MEET, there would have been no reason for that word to be there. That's why. Because I don't expect much. The bar is so low. I expect spelling and grammar mistakes in the title of Switch games. That's why.
50 Pinch Barrage.
Nice.
Cards RPG.
I'm not looking that one up. That one sounds like it goes straight to a list.
I mean,
Cards RPG, The Misty Battlefield, Sunland Town, Blade Jumper, Bread and Fred, Chocolate Factory Tycoon. Do not Google that either.
no. Listen, when I worked at a movie theater, there was a movie that came out. It was called Chocolate City. And you already know what that movie was about. Chocolate City. Oh my God.
Immediately in my head, I heard the R. Kelly song from Batman.
Yes!
Chocolate City.
I think Terrence, you were excited for this game. Duck Detective: The Secret Salami.
I am. I just watched the trailer for it. Like, first of all, the title already sounds crazy, and I was like, that sounds interesting. But like, he's legit a detective out here looking for some salami. Like, the art style and stuff looks kind of cute. Like, it looked
I've
like
seen some
Paper
gifs of it
Mario.
on Twitter. It looks pretty cute.
Yeah. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, I'll play it.
Another egg console game, Shin Mao Govelius MSX2. Electronics Puzzle Lab, Eternal Threads, Evidence Destroyer. Oh, it is a big week between Hellblade, System Shock, and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
Well, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
All
I
right,
completely
well,
forgot
yeah.
about Paper Mario.
I was wrong.
Pine Hearts, Scarlet Tower, Slide Puzzle, Soul Link, Ultra Food Mess 2, You Adorable, Elfin Clay 2.
I'm gonna say something about slide puzzles. I like slide puzzles. I've never enjoyed a virtual slide puzzle. I like the tactile, like clicking as the pieces move. I don't want to play that virtually. It's not fun.
Castle of Shikigami 2, Coffee Simulator Tycoon, Helicopter Battle Arena Simulator, High Laundry Overwashed, Play with Your Friends.
That's
All right, hold on. I'm starting up. Start up
Overwatch.
the private browser.
High Laundry Overwash. Play with your friends.
That's the title of the game.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, it's okay. All right. It's not as
Is it
bad as you
an Overwatch clone with long?
Yeah, with a
No,
cleaning
I think that's just a joke in the title because High Laundry is a game on Steam and it's oh god, it's Overcooked.
Oh.
But it's laundry.
Okay.
Oh.
Overcooked is the most stressful ass fucking game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, do you
The
want to
later
not be
ones?
friends with your family or
Hey,
friends anymore?
listen.
Yeah.
I had to stop playing it with my kids because I was playing it with the kids, right? I was gonna fuck my kids up because they was like, nah, we can't play this no more. Like that game. Whoo, man.
Necro Bouncer.
Catch this! I'm throwing it at you. Hurt me, got a server. Oh man, it was bad. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, Jesus,
Restaurant
having PTSD.
Tycoon Simulator, Tales from the Underrealm After Midnight, and TP Bullet. Those are
Hey,
your
Ken,
releases.
guess what type of game Necro Bouncer is?
It's a game where you're trying to get into an underworld nightclub and the bouncer will not let you in.
Incorrect.
Visual
Try
novel.
again. No.
Roguelike.
Goddamn right it is.
What isn't? Like that's not even a question anymore.
Can you picture what it looks like, Ken?
I can.
I feel like I can. Yes.
Yeah.
16-bit art style.
You're
Wow.
God damn it, Ryan. If you're like, maybe it kind of looks like Enter the Gungeon or like Nuclear Throne. Correct. Yes, that is exactly what it
I
looks
was
like.
thinking Enter the Dungeon or Gungeon. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's time for the news that you can use for whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Xbox is getting a new update that will allow you to pre-download updates.
That's cool.
Thanks.
Right. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
So
it
I'm
immediately came to mind for me is like, Overwatch lets you preload the mid-season patches like on PC. Now you can do it on Xbox.
Oh, okay. I thought they meant like console updates. I was like,
No,
fucking
no,
just
it's
update
for
the
game
goddamn
updates.
console losers.
It's for game updates. There's a rumor that Tom Warren is teasing a new Doom. Microsoft will be banking on some new game announcements, lifting the Doom around Xbox. Ha ha ha. But the company's gaming strategy still looks unclear, and the challenges run deeper than a handful of holiday launches. Yeah, there was a whole lot of conversation yesterday about Xbox after they closed 4 studios, one of them being Tango Gameworks.
And that was just wild.
And then immediately one of the fucking guys from Xbox is like, we need more games like Hi-Fi Rush. Well, you closed the studio, dumbass.
Right.
They did, and nobody's happy about it. But Tango probably has never made a game that made money.
Well, but whose fault is that?
Yeah,
I mean,
Like
the
they
company not
Bethesda's?
charging money for games. Well,
they
Bethesda
put
too.
the no, they launched the game into Game Pass with no marketing whatsoever and just said,
Actually.
"Hey, it's out there."
well, hold on.
Every
I mean, Tango made like 5 games before that didn't make money.
Right. Because
Sure,
he said
they
none of
did,
the
but
games made money.
most. I mean, you just said that Naughty Dog's first game was fucking Way of the Warrior. Like most of these studios take several games to really have a hit. Tango finally had a hit. They had no marketing, dropped it on Game Pass, and then they're like, "Well, didn't sell well enough, so we're going to shut you down." It's horseshit.
I'm
You're
not
right.
saying you're wrong. I'm just,
Yeah.
it just,
Everybody
your
else has been
fear
allowed
is
to
coming
have-
true. Like when you engulf these companies and they don't make money, they go away.
Well, it also doesn't help that you bought Activision
No, because you had like
and done nothing with it. They've done nothing with it.
not yet. Nope, they ain't done shit.
I'm not wait, and fuck the not yet statement. Like you've had time. It's not.
Oh, I'm
this
not
didn't
saying
happen
it's. I'm
yesterday.
not saying it's.
No,
I'm just
but
saying.
I'm just saying, like to them, like fuck you. Like you've done nothing with it.
Well, we got one
As a
game in Game
customer-
Pass. We got one.
Yeah, as a customer, I've seen no benefit. So like, thanks.
As a customer, you just lost Tango.
Yeah,
EA Play
yeah. I lost
is included.
my
with
chance at a Hi-Fi Rush sequel.
Yeah, EA Play is included with Game Pass Ultimate. The competitor for Call of Duty is in your fucking Game Pass, and you have none of the Call of Duties in Game Pass. None of them. I'm not asking for the current one. I get it, but like, they're all backwards compatible. I'm like nothing.
So, hey, that's a good segue, Anthony, because there's a rumor going around that Xbox is going to launch the brand new Call of Duty on Game Pass day one.
Yeah, eat my ass. I don't give a shit. I
Dang.
really don't. Like, I'm so
Man.
done. Here's the thing. I brought up Embracer earlier. I was consolidation's never good, but you always kind of. I try to have hope because there has been some stories where like the company that's bought has more resources after it's bought. But like with the two biggest fuck ups, being Microsoft and Embracer as of late. I know Square Enix is doing stupid shit too, but they've always had at least their own games to fall back on. It's just wow, like really shit in the bed, folks. And Microsoft, fucking the worst. Like I don't know why I would spend money on a series console. Why? Why would I? Like nothing is there. And now you're sending stuff to the other console. And I'm not trying to play the whole console war thing. I'm just like, as a consumer, on a consumer level, who does not have like the sides, I don't give a shit if I'm playing on PlayStation or Xbox. I just want to play fucking games. There's no benefit to buying a goddamn Xbox. Oh well, Game Pass, okay, but you're gonna close down the studios that make your fucking games because they don't make money. You kept Bethesda around, who had arguably a bigger bomb, because Fallout show is important. That's why they were kept around. Like fucking Starfield was an embarrassment.
I mean, you buy Bethesda, you're not gonna close down the main Bethesda studio.
But what I'm saying is, like, I'm sorry, like Starfield was exactly what I said it was going to be. It was going to be the same fucking engine that they've been using for fucking years, and the same glitchy mess, and it's gonna be, all the bad parts of Bethesda just keep coming more and more to the surface as they make more games, because they're working on old tech, and it's just like, this is it. This got exactly what I figured it was gonna be.
But that's an incorrect statement, because Starfield was on a new engine and it was not nearly as buggy as Bethesda.
It was based off of their previous engines. Still, it's not like they were trying to sell it from the ground up. And I get that, like, working from the ground up is not, necessarily feasible. But then you don't say that.
But I mean, it was also less buggy, and to kind of back to the point I made at the beginning, Starfield made money. I'm not saying it's a better game. This has nothing to do with the quality of these games. It has to do with.
To me, the whole whatever Microsoft is doing is embarrassing. Like, as a
I don't
person
disagree with that.
Like,
I don't.
Trying to, who saw a lot of good in it. Like, I mean, I canceled Game Pass on the show because I don't use it. It's nothing to mention. That's not Microsoft's fault necessarily, but at the same time, it is, because like all these games that they've been promising for years have not come. Fable, where's my Fable? Where's my whatever Rare's working on?
Well, I mean, Game Pass does you no good for these games either, because you can't play them.
Not anymore.
No, you can't play them at all because you don't have a series console.
No, but what I'm saying, not anymore. It's not like they put out stuff really in that time period that Game Pass.
No, they ain't had shit.
Just like, and they keep buying studios, and it's still nothing, and it just, the whole fucking thing just kind of really pisses me off. The difference, though, is that I'm not like, you can win me back, but I just don't. At this point, I just don't see how, because like I'm not Jim Cat. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's all on PlayStation,
and yeah, but it's just to close Tango GameWorks, arguably the best PR you've had in a long time in terms of like a game that was released, is like, you don't give a shit about video games. It's very clear.
Hey, I'm not disagreeing with any point you made. It is,
or not quality games. I get, specifically, like, I just, I get why Redfall Studio was closed. Unfortunately, I do get it.
I mean, they're in the same boat as Tango. The games they made didn't sell. I'm not saying they're not good. Dishonored was amazing. Prey was amazing.
Did they make Dishonored?
The first one they worked with Leon. They worked. It was both studios.
Yeah, it was a joint.
So yeah, embarrassing to me. Anyways, just.
But again, it's what you always fear. It's that bottom dollar. Dishonored did not make money. Prey did not make money. Redfall sure as shit didn't make money.
Yeah. Well, Redfall wasn't ever going to make money anyway because it was in Game Pass.
I mean, you say that, but Starfield made money.
Starfield when Starfield was also their most hyped game for the last like 3 years. Like, no game that Microsoft have released since Halo Infinite had the kind of marketing behind it that Starfield had.
And it was rumored to exist for years before that.
You can't compare Starfield and Hi-Fi Rush.
No, I'm not comparing the two games. I'm just saying that one made money, the other didn't. And
one made money because they had it live on Steam, and because they invested a shit ton of money in the marketing.
They invested a shit ton of money in the marketing of Redfall too. I don't know if you remember when that game came out. They marketed the fuck out of that game.
Well, you know what? Yeah, because they flew all the streamers out to the super secret thing with the vampire theme stuff. And
where other than Xbox could I buy Redfall?
It was on Steam.
On Steam.
So was Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
All their games launch day and date on Steam, PC, Xbox Store, Xbox. It's everywhere. Same as Starfield.
Window. I don't think the Windows
But
Store
those are
anymore, but
so
yeah.
so. My thing though is, and I think this is kind of Ryan's point too, though, is like Starfield. Again, this kind of goes back to my issue with Bethesda. Starfield is just the next Elder Scrolls / Fallout / whatever.
100%.
Yeah.
They have a formula. You know that people are interested in that formula. They're going to buy the next game.
When you don't get to, so I'm going back to this point because it's pissing me off. You don't get to drop a game with no advertising into Game Pass day one. It does gangbusters, wins a whole bunch of awards, gets you a whole bunch of PR, post online about what a success it was and how it blew your estimations away and got so many impressions and all this bullshit. Close the studio down and then be like, well, too bad it didn't sell. Like that's not how it works.
I'm not saying you're
more
wrong.
games
No.
like it too.
That's completely 100% a retroactive attempt to justify something that they should not have done.
I don't disagree with that. 100%.
It absolutely is. Mm-hmm.
It's I hate to say this because it's like I didn't love everything that Tango made necessarily. I have not played Hi-Fi Rush, even though I've been told to, and I will because I'm getting in the Humble. I'll try anyways with my shitty PC because I'm getting in the Humble monthly. But that made me go, this company has no idea what they're doing. Because like if they, I guess, and this is a really shitty way of saying it, but like I guess if they at least showed me that they were doing something with the fucking acquisition that they just fought for like over a year and a half, 2 years for, but they haven't. They're doing, it literally is just hoarding wealth like a dragon and then doing nothing with it and then being like, this didn't make enough.
Well, and not to mention
has fucking anything made you enough? Because like I don't think anything has.
Well, not to mention if you want to go all the way back to Evil Within and shit to say that Tango's never made a game that's made money. Okay, well guess what? They just had a hit. So if your complaint is that you've been sitting on them this whole time and it's sunk costs and they don't make money, why would you shut them down after they had their first hit? A hit that, by the way, people were clamoring already for a sequel for and for an expanded universe for. Like, you can't say, well, yep, they've never made money, and then shut them down right when they have a hit.
I mean, you know the answer to that in the business that we work in, personally. It was a line on a spreadsheet.
100%.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's all it was.
This. Yeah.
We're going to pick, Microsoft was probably like, you got to pick 4 studios. They pulled up a spreadsheet. They looked at the numbers. These are the 4 that don't make money. They're gone.
Yep.
And the out of touch statement that whatever his name made, where it's like, trust me, Phil feels really bad. I don't give a fuck what Phil feels.
Oh, you talking about Ybarra?
Ybarra is
yeah.
He's a tool.
Yeah, that nigga. I was like, bruh.
Oh, let me think about that while all these people lose their job. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't care about Phil's feelings.
I don't give a shit about Phil's got enough time on his hands to be in like the top 5% of Xbox gamers. Fuck Phil.
Also, he got his base nuked in Fallout 76, which I thought was hilarious.
And they should just keep doing it. I would just keep doing that as a statement. That
doesn't really mean anything.
It doesn't.
No, but it's still funny.
But it is funny. Yeah. See,
like, never come back to this game is kind of a great statement to make. You fucking fuck.
Which is hilarious because the people nuking his base are probably giving him money, so he's just kind of chuckling at it. So.
Right. Like, he plays that game a lot, too. Like, he's always online on there.
But I just... Yeah.
And at some point, too, if you're going to shut all these studios down and the justification is, well, they don't make any money. Okay, well, at some point, when do you look at the people at the top of the company that have to keep shutting down a whole bunch of studios because they don't make money?
Oh, Matt Booty Cheek should have been gone a long time ago.
He called him Matt Booty Cheeks.
I told you that's his name from going forward. His name is Matt Booty Cheeks.
Nice. Yeah, he probably, yeah.
He's like, this dude's been in this role since Microsoft started this whole initiative of like, we're going to build these big ass games, and ain't shit happened. So clearly, there's a problem at the top.
And I'm going to say something mean that's not necessarily fully related, but I think it is in a way. they had their I mean, they've always kind of had since they bought Rare early on all these IPs, and they've done nothing with them. Like, are
Mhm.
you gonna tell me this is the best you can fucking do with Halo? Halo
Let's
should have been a fucking layup.
let's be fair. The only company that seems to do well with their IPs is fucking Nintendo.
That's yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna defend Sony because even though they don't use all of their IPs, like the IPs that they have now are beloved.
The ones they have
Right,
now,
they're
but
critical.
the ones they created are forgotten. We just talked about this.
But yes, I understand that, and I'm not saying. Trust me, I would love for them to come back, but it's at the same time I'm like, they didn't shut down those studios. Those studios went on to do other things,
Well,
right? Like as much as I would love to see another Jack and Daxter, that team went on, like that studio went on to do Uncharted, which was a huge success, and then Last of Us, which was a huge success. And those might not be games I like, but at least that studio didn't suffer the consequences for Jack X not being as fucking
you're
monetarily as well
What happened to
done.
Zipper?
you are
Are they
using
still
you're
around? Or-
using Naughty Dog and Insomniac, which I totally understand. They're the high profile, but they did shut down Japan Studio. They did shut down Zipper
Mhm.
Interactive.
I get it, and I'm not saying they're perfect either, but like it's just one of those things where it's like
They all suck.
they all suck, and business sucks, and I get that. It's just like at least they like didn't like they're not parading the corpses around of fucking some of their IPs and then just leaving other ones dormant. Like you know, I'm sorry, Halo sucks. Even Infinite is not as good as like Bungie's Halo games.
No,
It's
it's
just
the
not.
best
You're right.
Halo. It's the
It's
best
the
Halo
way
that 343 has
So
made, but it's still not
they
as
it is.
good.
fucking they
Yeah.
parade the corpse around like it's Weekend at Bernie's, and it's like, you know, what the fuck are you doing? You have all these fucking talented people, and none of them can fucking produce anything that's like really good. One team finally fucking does, and that's the studio that closes.
We
I'm
we've
sorry,
Right.
343's had enough chances. They sucked with fucking 4. They sucked with 5. Infinite was okay. That was 2 fucking failures.
we talked about this when it was going on, but I 100% believe the Activision purchase has ruined Xbox.
I mean, it's
Agreed.
definitely been uh, a major problem.
Like
The
like
I
that
mean,
thing lasted almost 2 years, and nothing happened in that 2 years at
well,
Xbox.
yeah, and not only that, but the word has been basically that purchase put the Xbox division on Microsoft corporate's radar. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
$70
you
billion
guys just
will do
spent,
that.
yeah, you guys just spent all this money. What are we doing? Like, it completely prevented what sounds like a limited amount of oversight from Microsoft corporate over the Xbox division. They were running, it sounds like, relatively autonomously, about as autonomous as a division within a company like that can run. And then you spend $70 billion and it's like, okay, yeah, now you got to do something.
Yeah,
Like you can't, that's not just free money. My thing is at the end of the day, I don't care if Tango or whoever else, Arcane Austin, whoever else. Uh, when I hear people say, "Well, yeah, they didn't make money, so you had to shut them down," like, do you work at Microsoft? Like, do you? I don't give a shit if they made money. What do I care?
no,
I
I
just
don't give
want to
two
keep
shits.
playing I want to keep playing their games. And when they get shut down, guess what? I can't play their games anymore, and that sucks. So
Yep.
if you're just like a fan who's caping for Microsoft because they shut down studios because those studios didn't make money, what the fuck do you care?
You know
Like,
why they care.
unless you're a major stockholder at Microsoft, like,
Drew cares.
Like Drew.
yeah, Drew owns like 2 shares of Microsoft stock.
Yep. That's what we saying.
The
Like Drew he can get those questions answered for us because he's
right,
a shareholder. He can
the
demand this stuff.
right. I own 1 share of Nintendo stock. I'm gonna write the board of
Yeah,
directors.
you got it.
The
You got the end.
Get Doug Bowser
the
on the phone right now.
right. The like if you own 15,000 shares of Microsoft stock, yeah, sure, I understand why you want them to make money. But guess what? If you own 15,000 shares of Microsoft stock, you probably didn't play Hi-Fi Rush anyway. So yeah,
No,
I
it
don't know.
sucks.
I get frustrated at the caping for a corporation's bottom line. Like, what do you? It's in the wrestling business too, and that's probably why it drives me so nuts. But if I have to hear one more time about how much money WWE or AEW did or didn't make, it's like, what do you care? What do you care? You're a wrestling fan. I know for a fact that you aren't getting paid by either one of these guys, so what do you care? And it's the same thing here. Like, more studios making good games is what I want, and I don't give a shit if they make money or not.
No, I
And
don't
I've
care,
probably-
but if they don't, then they usually go away, which sucks.
I'm probably too emotional to make really good statements anyways right now because it just pisses me off. But like, it's they've done nothing with what they've acquired, and everything that was kind of theirs to begin with has not been good. And finally, it's like, oh my god, we are at the turning point, sort of, maybe. And it's like, no, we're not, because we just bought Activision and we haven't done anything with that either.
I get where you're coming from, but I also feel like they did good before. Obsidian has been their best acquisition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and still they're gonna get fucking shut down too.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you with 100% certainty. I will make the prediction on the podcast right now, and in a year from now, people can come back and tell me I'm a dumbass, or they can tell me that I'm a prophet. I don't care. If Avowed is not a massive runaway hit, they're gonna put Obsidian on Fallout 100%. And they're going to not let them make whatever it is else they want to make. They're going to tell them, fuck the Outer Worlds. Like, you're not making that
Forgot about
anymore.
that.
You're making a Fallout game. Because all anyone has talked about since the Fallout TV show came out is New Vegas. And so, unless Avowed is the kind of hit that lets Obsidian say, no, fuck you, we're going to do what we want, they're going to get put on Fallout again, 100%.
And even if it is a hit, if the next thing that they do is not a hit, they're probably at Fallout. Like, they'll
Well,
probably
yeah, I mean,
always have that dangling over them.
my estimation is they'll find somebody else in the interim if Avowed's a major hit, because they want to put
Sure,
something
yeah.
all out as soon as possible. But I'm telling you, Obsidian is not safe, because if their push is to make games in their sort of established IPs, they're gonna get folded in, and they're gonna be working on Elder Scrolls, and they're gonna be working on Fallout, mostly Fallout. They're not gonna sit there and let Obsidian make an Elder Scrolls light game in the Pillars of fucking Eternity universe when they think they could be helping on Fallout or Elder Scrolls based on their stated mission statement. And that's not a shot for me at Obsidian, at Pillars of Eternity, or Avowed, because I want all of that. Like, I want more than one game in that kind of universe. But Microsoft's not going to make a statement talking about how they're going to reinvest people in their established IPs and then let Obsidian make an Elder Scrolls clone.
All right, that's only the second Xbox news story. I got
I
more.
was gonna say, I got one more thing to add, because on top of that, like, what happens to Halo now that you have the biggest first-person shooter franchise in the world?
I mean, Halo's its own thing. It always has been.
It has been, but like, to me, it's like, it has been, but it doesn't do Call of Duty numbers. Like, I don't know. This whole thing is a fucking mess, and I barely turn on my Xbox anymore, because, like, what is the point? And I get it. I'm on an Xbox One, so it's like the new games aren't there, but it's just like, I don't even give a shit about the new games necessarily. Like, Hellblade is the first thing where I'm like, I played the first one, so, like, I guess.
Well,
I
we'll
don't
talk about Hellblade next week for sure.
Okay.
Microsoft announced a new controller called the Proteus. It's a controller for gamers with disabilities. I don't know if y'all saw this. It looks like a modular controller with a bunch of circle-like modules.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat, actually.
Yeah, it's expensive as fuck, dude. It's like almost $300, I think.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's we don't talk about that a lot, but there is absolutely 100% an unspoken tax on disabled folks, especially in this country.
Oh yeah, that the controller they released before, which was really good, was like $200, I think, or
It
something.
was, yeah. I think it was $199.
And at one point they ended up stopped talking about it, which was crazy to me.
No, they still talk about it. You just don't see it. Like they
You
still
just
do
don't see
videos
it in
about
the
it.
same way. Oh, do they?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, they
Well,
still do videos
I
about it.
stopped hearing about it, and I was like, do they even make these anymore?
Sony made one too, but I don't ever see like I remember them
Yeah,
announcing it, but I
that
don't know if it ever came out.
I did.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
don't.
did. Yeah, it did. I
Okay.
remember seeing videos for it with all the sort of touch panels on it and stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know if they did as good of a job as marketing as Microsoft did with their initial accessibility controller. But yeah, um, the only reason why I kind of like am okay with the, and this sounds bad because I don't have a disability, so of course I'm not. But it's just this is a lot. These options are still a lot cheaper than having custom rigs made, versus
Sure.
what the old option used to be. So it's like, okay, we're getting better. It's not where it should be, but we're getting better.
Speaking of money, Xbox dropped a bunch of prices of 360 games on the 360 store because, as we all know, that shuts down on July 29th. This is the first of 3 drops. These are permanent, by the way. It's not a sale. So they dropped like 60 games. They're dropping another on June 18th and the final one on July 16th. So if there's something you want on that store, make sure you pick it up before it goes away
The
forever.
first list kind of sucked, I'll be honest.
I grabbed like 3 or 4 games that were like $1. So I think I picked up Kane and Lynch for $2.50. So
Oh wow.
like I can't complain. There's a game on there called Sniper that had like a 4-star rating. It was 90 cents. I was like, oh, that's for 90
Oh,
cents.
Sniper Ghost Warrior, yeah.
No. It's just called Sniper. It's not called Sniper Ghost
Oh.
Warrior.
Okay.
Sniper Ghost Warrior was a
Yeah.
different game.
I forgot to mention that I did play Rock Band this week. Actually, a decent amount of Rock Band this week.
I want you to know
Rock Band,
I'm still waiting on my guitar to ship from Amazon.
nice.
Dang.
Yeah, Rock Band 2 is what I played
That's the goat.
on my actual Xbox 360, which I mean, so many things that I forgot about the Xbox 360. Like, I forgot personally that I only had a VGA cable hookup for it,
Oh,
and that it doesn't have HDMI out of the box. So I
the
had
old
to,
ones don't. Yeah.
I had to order an HDMI cable,
It's
and
not
then
Sniper, by the way. It's Snipers.
Sorry, I apologize. Plural.
and then
Continue.
I also forgot that it didn't have wireless internet out of the box.
Nope.
So I had to run a Ethernet cable to it. And obviously I had several. I forgot that it doesn't just, if it's got a system update, you have to update each system update sequentially. So I had like 4 system updates to apply.
Oh shit.
But finally I got it up and running, and my Rock Band 1 stuff, because I had the license, worked. And yeah, so we play all my wired instruments still work. So yeah, it's we played a decent amount of that. I forgot how fun that game is. I wish that we would get a new one with reasonably priced instruments.
I'm just picturing you updating like your console, and you lost the blades this time because you hadn't played it for that long.
Oh no, no, it had been updated since then.
It's
But,
wild to me that you have like the old fat 360 with all that stuff missing. Because like
I do.
I have one of those in the closet, but like I have both the E, which is broken now, which is awesome, and the slim models.
Well, I had to use even if I had one of the other ones, my saves were on the big, my Rock Band 2 saves were on the big one.
Oh,
the
you
old
didn't
one.
load them to the cloud yet, I guess.
No. Some of them maybe, but not most of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, I mean, that was a good time though. It did though, like the load times and stuff. It definitely makes you appreciate the current generation.
How about the sound when you put the disc in?
Yeah, it's loud as shit.
Yeah, the original 360 model. I remember playing the last big game I remember playing on it, where I was like, I need a new console, was Alan Wake, and I was it heated the room for me.
Yeah,
Yep.
Man, yeah.
I was nervous because as soon as I plugged my 360 in, it came up with the boot screen and then gave me the hard drive fail error, and I'm like, oh, geez. So I unplugged it and tried again. It gave me the hard drive fail error again. I unplugged the hard drive, plugged it back in, turned it on, gave me the same error. I'm like, so I unplugged it, unplugged the hard drive, plugged the hard drive back in, plugged the console back in one more time, and it worked finally. And it hasn't given me any trouble since.
You know what I don't miss? Big
What?
ass fucking power bricks.
Oh yeah, it's enormous.
Yeah.
All right. Xbox Game Pass drop. Chance of Sinar, EA Sports NHL 24, Immortals of Avium, Senua Saga Hellblade 2, Galacticare, Haunty, Moving Out 2, Humanity, Lords of the Fallen, Firework, and Rolling Hills are your games for the second half of May.
Oh
So,
man,
Lords of the Fallen supposed to be pretty good, right? Once they got the
Jay
my
liked
dad
it,
loves it.
yeah.
performance and stuff, because didn't it have performance issues?
Yeah, because it's Unreal Engine 5, so
Yeah.
My
yeah.
dad is a big Souls guy. Like that's what he spends most of his time with if he's not playing Fallout 76, and he loves that game. I told him there was one. I'm like, oh, there's one. The original came out. I have that too, and he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, all right.
All right. I don't want to get too much in the weeds on this next story, but Activision is opening a new studio in Poland called Elsewhere Entertainment, working on a new narrative-based AAA IP. And Wombat, just for your information, this studio contains 70% of people from CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, I heard that. So
Dang.
I'm interested to see what they're able to do here.
Yeah, this
You
caused a
know,
stir because they opened.
I'm looking forward to playing. I'm looking forward to playing whatever game they put out that gets shadow dropped into Game Pass, and then they shut the studio down the next month.
Yeah, this caused a stir because they opened a new studio after they shuttered 4, but you can't.
I mean, that's always going to happen. That's
It's just like. Ugh. Also,
I'm sure they all feel really bad about that, though.
I'm sure they do. According to Jez
Phil
Corden,
especially feels really bad about it.
Oh, Phil, I feel bad for Phil. I don't know about you, but I do. According to Jez Corden at Windows Central,
What gaming shirt does he wear to the funeral of Tango Gameworks?
oh man,
An Evil Within shirt. Bitch.
According to Jez Corden at Windows Central, there is no red line for what games could come to other systems. It even has an internal code name. It's Latitude.
Nice.
This push apparently comes from Satya Nadella, shocker, and Amy Hood, also shocker. Arcane Austin will release a final patch for Redfall before Xbox shuts them down. The patch includes an offline mode, revamped neighborhood and nest systems, single-player pausing, and more.
How is that game going to have an offline mode?
What do you mean?
Isn't it like haven't people said from the very beginning that it's impossible to play solo?
Well, that's what they're fixing with the nest and neighborhood systems.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, I guess, rebalancing it to make it, because it's fucking difficult. But then that's also the game where the save data was only like the host had it, so you couldn't just drop in on somebody. Like they should have reversed that. Like oh well, rip Redfall.
PlayStation 5 released their sales results, which were down, 29% over last year?
Yeah.
But still sold a fuckload of systems. It's 4.5 million in quarter 4 alone. Fiscal year 23, they sold 20.8 million. In lifetime, they're up to 59.3 million. They've dropped their forecast for fiscal year 24 to 18 million, which will be about around 29%. Helldivers 2 sold 12 million copies in its first 12 weeks, more than 60%, I think, on PC.
Crazy.
Damn.
So expect Sony to go a little
deserved.
harder on PC. Shocker.
Good. I hope they put it on Xbox as well.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think eventually it happens. I just don't think it happens anytime
think
soon.
so. Yeah, but I do think it'll be there eventually.
When the player base starts to drop.
Yeah, that's a good time to
probably.
do it.
That's when the conversations will start to happen.
Starting
Yeah,
June.
and they've still got a whole other faction in their pocket too. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Starting June 1st, PlayStation will also have 2 CEOs now. Hideaki Nishino, will be appointed CEO of SIE's Platform Business Group, and Herman Hulst will be appointed CEO of SIE's Studio Business Group. So they're going to do the dual CEO route. Former Deviation Games employees have reportedly formed a new studio under PlayStation. If you remember, Deviation Games was shut down by PlayStation.
Yeah.
Before they even released their first game. So good luck.
good luck.
I don't know if that's a great idea, but okay. PlayStation Plus Premium/Extra for May 2024 includes Red Dead Redemption 2, Deceive Inc., The Sims 4 City Living, Crime Boss Rocky City, baby. The Settlers, The Settlers New Allies, Stranded Alien Dawn, Cat Quest 2, and Watch Dogs. And for the classic games this month, we get Worms Pinball, G Police, which is a goddamn classic, and 2 Extreme.
Okay, so is Crime City, whatever that fucking game is called, Rocky City, fucking crime adventure simulator. Yeah. I don't fucking know what it is.
It is a roguelike.
But that was a money laundering scheme, right? Like there has to be something else to that game.
I mean,
I don't understand how it was made otherwise.
Look at the cast of that game. It's fucking
right.
Chuck Norris, Kim Basinger, Michael Madsen.
But some of them people really call it in or phone it in because
I'm not saying, but that
Chuck Norris is he in it, but
he still got paid.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. The check cashed or the check cleared. So yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It has to be like. How? And it's like in-game studios. Have you ever heard of in-game studios before this? I haven't.
Nope.
Yeah, just fucking so wild. I'm not accusing them of actual crime, by the way. I'm just making sure because I don't need that coming back to me. Or just it's something like I just don't get how that game is fucking made otherwise.
All right, the last PlayStation story. I'm gonna make Ryan mad again. Hold on.
Hold on, I have to just quickly say. So go to In-Game Studios website, and it's got Cagnali Industries at the top.
Okay.
And then it's got like some weird glitchy effects going on with like a video clip. And then it's got hashtag resist order. And then I swear to God, written underneath is blah 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 blah.
Are you?
Yes.
That's excellent.
There's no other information. I don't know what I'm looking at. It just says hashtag resist order.
You're looking at a money laundering site. That's what you're looking at.
I think that's what you're looking at.
I might. You know what? Maybe I was wrong, folks.
That's so funny.
All right. The last PlayStation story. Sony is continuing to try to make Horizon like their big deal. According to Tom Henderson, there's a rumor that there's a Lego Horizon Adventures. It's a real game. It's Horizon Forbidden West, but Lego, and will have, quote, realistic graphics.
Yeah, we don't need a Lego Horizon.
We're also getting a Horizon remake too, right? Because we need that.
We don't need that either.
I don't understand.
I'm gonna.
Well, because listen, you were the one who brought up sales before, and Horizon has sold a shit ton.
Horizon sold a shit ton because it was packed in with the system.
Well, listen.
That's like including it in Game Pass.
Well,
that creates The Last of Us numbers too. So
that's exactly why they bundled Spider-Man with the system, right? Because Marvel was like, you have to sell this many copies. They're like, all right, we can do that.
Yep.
And they also charge less for the console too, so that helps a lot.
Right. Yep.
First of all, I'm going to defend this. I think that's a great idea for a Lego game.
I'm sure it'll be great.
And second, like one of the few sets that I've like kind of questioned getting is the Lego Horizon set that's out there. The tall neck
is really cool.
Well, hold on.
I love this concept, and hold on. I'm just quickly gonna say we don't get Lego games like we used to.
I mean, there's a reason for that. I'm just saying.
I mean, there is, but the last one was really good.
Yeah,
they
that's
just sort
how
of-
we keep them good. Is that we don't
They
release
burn-
one every 6 months
yeah,
like
they
it
burn
used
Right,
to
so
be.
that
I
idea
would, so and they're not doing another Star Wars or another Batman game. I'm excited. That sounds like a good idea for Lego to do.
Well, I'm transitioning right into another Lego story because you might want to hold off on that Horizon.
Congratulations on transitioning.
Thank you. It's been a dream of mine. Another Lego set coming September 1st. This is a rumor, so don't. Lego Zelda Deku Tree includes 2,500 bricks and 4 minifigures.
Oh wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I
if
mean,
they're
it
gonna
would it wouldn't surprise me for them to do Lego Zelda since they've done Lego Mario now.
It's weird they start
It
with the
seems like a
Deku Tree,
natural-
though.
Seems like a
Yeah.
natural move.
Well,
I don't know. All
it
sorts of
depends on
weird.
how it's being. It depends on how it's being packaged because, well, first of all, they've also done Animal Crossing.
Oh
Lego
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And so like, I'm wondering if they're doing it as a Lego idea set, sort of like the Horizon one, where it's sort of fan made, and then they get the official license, and then they tweak the design, because that was how the first Sonic set came to be too. Even though the first Sonic was actually for Lego Dimensions, but yeah, the Deku Tree one is weird because the figures. Most people are going to want a full-size Lego minifigure for Link. And if you have the Deku Tree, you would want the short legs, so he's like child Link.
Short legs. Is that what you call children?
No, so literally when they make children in Lego, the arm lengths are the same, but then they have like a half-sized like Lego brick that goes in. That's how they did Yoda too.
That's how I'm going to
But
start
you
referring to
do
children.
have if they do Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom Deku Tree, that's adult Link.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess the first thing. So I'm looking at the leaked potential picture now. I will send it. It seems to be his own thing potentially.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's a Deku Tree, and it's kind of based.
That looks like
more
Breath
off.
of the Wild's Deku Tree.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh well, it has young Link there in the foreground with short legs, and then it's got Link. You keep saying that like I'm wrong. And
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's fucking funny.
And it does seem to have the Breath of the Wild Link and Zelda there too. So I don't know if this is a legit picture or not. It says they've plastered confidential all over.
I'm literally going to leave this podcast, go to see my son, and be like, "What up, short legs?"
You're right.
I've
short legs me
I've
now.
created chaos. I feel bad for it.
Nintendo Switch Online also added some Game Boy games this week, including Alleyway, Baseball, and Super Mario Land, which I think were like 3 of the first games I had on my Game Boy.
Yeah. Definitely 2 of those are the original
with
set.
the exception, I'm sure you probably had Tetris before those other.
Yeah, I probably did. And if you're in Japan, you also get The Frog for Whom the Bell Tolls.
I wish we got that. Fuck, that's damn it. Because that's the Link's Awakening team. Making a Zelda-like before Zelda.
The Rogue Prince of Persia will now launch Steam Early Access on May 27th. Lies of P DLC is coming in the second half of 2024. Hey, remember Replaced, that game Xbox showed years ago? It's supposedly coming second half of 2024.
I don't actually remember that at all. I have no idea what you're talking about.
They've shown it at like
2.5
3 3s at this point. It's crazy.
0.5D sci-fi retro-futuristic action game.
Oh, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually wanted that. Okay.
Do you remember... Oh, God. This is not the game I thought it was. Do you remember the game that was like pixel art, Ken? That looked really cool and had like a cyberpunk look?
I thought that was this.
Is it?
I thought it was.
This looks like, no,
kind of looks
this
like Blade Runner, like kind of.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of looks like that, but it doesn't have it doesn't look like I'm trying to see if it's not pixel art. It looks like it's got a slight filter on it to make it look like sort of digital. Maybe this is the game. I don't know. I'm not. Fuck it. Whatever. They announced so many goddamn games that never come out.
Oh, I know.
Right.
What was that PlayStation game everybody always talks about every time and it's never come out?
Deep Down.
No, not Deep Down. It was Devil something. Little Devil. Oh fuck. I don't
Oh, little devil inside. Or whatever.
Yeah. Like that game
Where
was
they
talked
had
about
the-
for like 10 years or some shit. I don't know. Assassin's Creed Shadows launches November 15th. It's only next gen and PC. And the internet was totally calm about that announcement.
Hold on. I'm just gonna say it. Big loser behavior. You're wrong about history. Don't be like, look, the Japanese people don't like it either. You motherfucker are watching the video and downvoting it too.
As I said the other day, it's impossible. It's impossible to engage in good faith conversation with people who are willing to parse 500-year-old Japanese words to try to figure out if this guy was really a samurai or not in a game when the fucking Pope had a apple that controlled people's minds, and there was a staff that let somebody live for 2,000 years.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, like Yasuke is like the perfect character for an Assassin's Creed story, because historically we only know about him for a short period of time. We don't know where he came from. We don't know where he went.
100%. Yep.
Um,
And it's an
And if
it's an interesting story nonetheless. So
How's he gonna be stealthy? Have you played the last couple
Well,
of
they-
fucking Assassin's Creed
well,
games?
they
buddy? They
already-
don't play like that anymore.
they already said that the two protagonists are split basically between a attack or like a combat first strategy and a stealth strategy. So the shinobi is the one that's going to be doing all the stealth.
Well, but the shinobi's a woman.
Right, a Japanese woman.
Oh fuck!
But still a
And so,
woman.
like,
Come on.
I'm gonna.
These people
I'm excited.
That's what's been driving me crazy is the people who say, well, it needs to have a Japanese protagonist when the Japanese protagonist is right fucking there.
She's just
on
that
the
stealthy.
cover.
She's just that stealthy.
Yeah, that's exactly. She's the ninja, so if you can't see.
I when I found out it was Yasuke, I immediately was more interested, because I'm sorry, I did not want to play Ubisoft's version of Ghost of Tsushima.
Well, I think that's what you're going to get anyway, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but
but
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you tell a story of a Japanese samurai in Japan fighting against a radical group of outsiders that are coming to control the land, which that would be what the Templars or whatever the equivalent are going to be. You were going to get compared to one of the best like games of being a samurai ever, and like you're not winning that battle. Sorry,
No.
you're just not.
it
so-
needs to have it needs to have an interesting hook.
And this is an interesting hook. And if
I-
you're
I-
like
I agree
so
with you.
fundamentally uncreative that you cannot be, you see a black man in a game about samurai and you're like, this isn't for me, then don't play it.
All
Don't
right.
play it. Vote with your mouth.
Dead by Daylight's getting 2 new crossovers, one for Castlevania and one for Dungeons and Dragons, because whatever the fuck at this point. I don't know.
They just YOLO. None of this matters. Why?
This
Whatever.
don't matter. None of this matters. Undisputed is a new boxing game, 1.0, launching on October 11th.
Looks good.
It
It looks like Fight Night.
Yeah, the early access is $40, but it's gonna be $60 when it drops on console.
Oh, hey, look at that. Early access that's actually cheaper than the full game.
Right.
GTA 6 will officially release in fall of 2025, and it's going to save the industry.
Single-handedly.
Speaking of games I'm not excited for, I could not care less.
Oh man, I'm so excited for GTA 6. I cannot wait.
Um,
Those games are some of my favorite of all time. So
we're back, man. EA College Football is back. Launches July 19th, and I'm not going to lie, that trailer looked really fucking good.
Do they have licenses?
Yes.
Do they let you do they let your career player make their way to the NFL and then you can put them in your Madden game?
I don't know. We'll find out later this year, I assume. I do not know.
That.
I'm
But
gonna
they
say
make
that
you
probably
struggle.
is there. Go ahead.
Did it make
sorry.
you struggle without getting paid?
Yeah, well,
Oh, I
they've
also
got
have
the
an
NIL
answer.
now, so
I also have an answer for your Dave the Diver Godzilla DLC. It's available May 23rd. It's free and it's a limited time, available till November 23rd.
okay. But does that mean a limited time you can download it, or limited time you can play it? Because that's what I don't think I saw
I don't know.
clarification on.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know those are the dates. So looking at it as a 6-month window, I'm gonna guess the latter.
Yeah.
Horizon Chase 2 is finally making its way to Xbox and PlayStation on May 30th. I love those games. So
Those games are fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
those games are fun for sure.
What else we got here? That's all for that block. So I'll move on to the next block. Square Enix had a week. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16, and Foam Stars all fell short of expectations. No new sales numbers. Square is reorganizing into 5 console and 1 mobile team. Dragon Quest XII is still in development. They also announced that they will be changing their strategy to quality versus quantity. You know the drill. They're also moving to multi-platform, which means no more exclusive deals. And then they laid off a bunch of people as part of the restructuring process.
Fucking
All right,
Square. You know what they didn't
Fucko list.
say? You know what they didn't say is still in development? At least not that I
HD.
saw. The Dragon
HD,
Quest 3 2.5D remake.
Does this
We're
mean
not-
does this mean we see Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox at not E3?
Probably.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on my fucko list. I didn't realize they just laid off a bunch of people.
Yes.
too.
Yoko Taro, Yosuke Saito, and Keiichi Okabe are working on a new game together. Please stay tuned. It might be near. It might not be near. That's about all I can say for now.
That sounds about right for Yoko Taro.
Shift Up CEO Hyung-tae Kim confirmed that there was no censorship in Stellar Blade.
Also, loser behavior.
Yeah, well, all those loser grifters that were loser griftering over Stellar Blade have moved on to loser griftering on Assassin's Creed. So
just it's racism. I'm not even,
100%.
racism and sexism.
That's what it is. Yes.
I'm not gonna let you be like, oh, this is about not you specifically. I'm not gonna let them be like about Assassin's Creed and be like, this is for historical accuracy. No, it's about racism and sexism, and you have.
Well, I mean,
congratulations, you caught both those Pokemon.
You know that Leonardo da Vinci actually did make weapons for a secretive assassins society.
I heard that, actually. Yeah.
That's accurate. That is historically accurate. You don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man, but if they go back and play those now, would they be upset? Oh.
Also, never mind. I'm not going to say that one because that's a spoiler for a somewhat recent game. I'm not going to say Valhalla spoilers on this podcast.
Thank you. I'm just going to say he's also gay in the Assassin's Creed 2 games. So I'm sure the woke mob had something. The woke mob went back in time and altered Assassin's Creed 2.
Man, I'll just say what I always say. There's more important shit to worry about.
I mean, honestly, like, man, people are.
It's a fucking video game.
But you can't make Twitter money on that.
That's true.
Did you see the Twitter money this morning? I posted in the chat. I think Anthony took me a little more seriously than I meant it to be. They're working on a fucking Bloodborne remake with a movie.
Oh yeah.
Or movie, yeah.
With the writer from Shrek.
That's what I saw. I was like, wait, what? The writer from Shrek? Okay.
Yeah, Shrek is into Bloodborne fan fiction. You didn't know?
Okay. All right then.
Oh, fuck. Toys for Bob's website was recently updated. It's just a picture of a purple tiki mask. Huh. Wonder what that is.
Also, just quickly, because we switched subjects, and I just want to say, gay people have been in video games since at least 1985, and trans people have been in since 1989. And people of color have always been there, so calm yourself down. This is nothing new.
Calm yourself down.
Calm yourself down.
You really forgot the bitch at the end of that. I think.
I think it needed.
It was implied.
Okay.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge is working on a Tomb Raider series for Amazon.
Speaking of, I can hear the fucking complaints now because they didn't like her in had problems with her in Indiana Jones.
Well, I don't think she's in it, right?
She's
just
working
playing
on
it.
it.
No. She's working on it, but it's like they blamed her for that movie, and it's like, come on now.
The Dial of
She's
Destiny?
Yeah,
I
people
like
were
that
upset
movie.
people were upset that she was one of the main. Like it wasn't just Indiana Jones.
I mean, it
Yeah,
hasn't
I
just
read
been
that
Indiana
too.
Jones ever. I don't know if you've watched
Well,
the
no,
movies.
it's not
No,
that.
Ken.
It's that the fact that she basically became him. Like, because if you recall, and this is, I guess, some spoilers
Like
for the
Shia
movie,
LaBeouf.
but like, basically, but like in essence, like he had to, like she ended up rescuing Indiana, right? And then she ended up figuring out all this. It was all the stuff that you were used to seeing Indiana
Motherfucker,
Jones do. That's what
Harrison
niggas was
Ford is
complaining
like
about.
176 years old. He needs
Exactly.
some rescuing.
Right, like nigga, y'all lucky he was here. Like he damn near killed himself on
He doesn't
Star
want
Wars.
to
Like,
just be
come
happy.
on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just be happy he wanted to be this character again. Because he
Exactly.
fucking demanded that they kill him off in Star Wars. Shut him
Right.
up. But so, anyways, I foresee if you just what I'm saying is prepare yourself because we're gonna end up seeing a lot of the same grifter pieces of shit complain about Tomb Raider like they did recently. Because did you hear about that texture getting taken out?
Yeah, they got put back in. So.
And it got put back in because it was a mistake. I'm sure everybody gave like their apology.
It was a pinup poster of Lara Croft and the old
poster.
fucking dude. The dudes out there who are posting pictures of Lara Croft from 1996, comparing her to the Call of Duty Lara Croft model. I'm like, you think that the model from 1996 looks like a real woman?
Right.
This is censorship. They're taking away my slutty images of Lara Croft, and they were there originally. And like, I get being upset if they removed stuff that was originally there, but at the same time, it has nothing to do with the game.
But also, look at a picture of Lara Croft from 1996.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, it happened to be removed by mistake, so I'm sure everybody will apologize to that. Oh, that's right.
Oh, you know they will. You know they will.
Level-minded people, fucking touch grass, motherfuckers. Touch grass.
2K plans to reveal a sequel to a beloved franchise at the Summer Games Fest.
Oh, so Borderlands?
Yeah.
I was gonna make the joke Grand Theft Auto 7.
I was gonna say it may not be
Grand
that
Theft
because
Auto Online 2.
Geoff likes to gas you on some of them games. Like, hey, we got this beloved sequel that everybody's been waiting for. It's gonna be Drake.
Well, 2K
and
said it,
Dragons
not
2.
Geoff. So.
Oh, okay.
It's just the next NBA game.
It's a beloved sequel to the Spike Lee Ghost Story. That's what it is.
Please don't remind me of that.
According to DualShockers, Creative Assembly is currently working on 3 new Total War games. One of them is a Star Wars game.
You read that?
Total
and that
War
is dope. Wow, Total War. Because yeah, Star Wars and I think Total War would be a good mix. I'm curious how the space battles would work though, or if they would even tackle that. But I'm all in. I love those
There's
games.
only been one RTS, right? That was Star Wars.
Star Wars Galaxy. What was that thing called?
That? There was 2. There was Galaxy at War, and then there was Battlegrounds.
Okay.
I think Battlegrounds
Galaxy
was
at War is the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, the
Galaxy
very
at
old
War
one.
is the superior one. Yeah, that's the superior one.
That's the one that was
really
like
good.
modeled off StarCraft.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm excited for Star Wars fans that also like RTSs because that's cool. That's been kind of vacant for a long time. So
it has.
It's not my jam, but
I wish they would do one like Star Wars Rebellion. The 4-time, I guess, kind of galaxy builder kind of thing. That's been the only in that genre that's come out, and that was back forever ago, like 95 or something ridiculous.
We have a rumor that Valve is working on a new game called Deadlock Neon Prime Citadel.
Hope it's a fucking...
Stop me if you've heard this before. It's a 6v6 hero shooter, which is a mix between Dota 2, Overwatch, and Orcs Must Die. It has 4 lanes, usable abilities and items, tower defense mechanisms, with a fantasy steampunk setting.
I'm so glad Battleborn is back.
It's in third person, like Marvel Rivals.
Battleborn is back, baby.
Hell
there you go.
Yeah.
See, but because I thought that was the vibes I got too, because when they said the lanes and stuff, but they're not going to have like minions coming down the lanes. Apparently, the lanes are like you can like ride rails or something. Like you
And
can
what's
like
the tower
move
defense?
faster. I have. I'm assuming you build the towers there. Like they haven't. Like there's been streamers that have been playing in the alpha test. They're thinking. I guess the announcement is about to be imminent because people are starting to leak stuff.
I mean, we only
Um,
3 weeks out from Summer Game Fest, so
it's probably just gonna be that then. Yeah, it's probably gonna be announced then. But
actually
I'm
only
gonna look
2
at it.
weeks. You know, it's 2 weeks until the Xbox show, I think, right? It's June 7th. No, it's 3
Oh,
weeks.
we are at
We
the
have
back half
canceled
of
more.
May.
We have closed more studios.
The Xbox showcase is on the 9th of June, so 3 weeks from today.
And then they show
Nice.
the new Forza and the car on stage.
Yep.
You know what? I don't think we get a Forza Horizon this year.
I don't think
Good.
so.
Yeah, it needs to breathe. All right, that's all the news I got. So let's do some emails and tweets and get out of here. Doo-pa-doo-pa-doo-pa-doo.
What was that little sound?
It was my jam in my head. I mean, I could go into the Excite Bike theme because that shit's in my head rent free every day. There you go. Kurt writes in as he continues the song. Slight correction to last week where you seemed surprised and or confused that Lightfall had already been released for free on PlayStation Plus. What they had previously had on PS Plus was The Witch Queen, which was the expansion prior to I don't know the expansions to Destiny.
Yeah.
Also,
Yes,
you guys seem to be the only ones on the internet, at least that I listened to, with the correct Helldivers 2 take. There were definitely
Which is?
there were definitely mistakes that happened, like it being sold in markets with no PSN. But
100%.
I think for the most part, it was a typical overreaction by the intranets.
Agreed. It was an overreaction for sure. But I do think there was a seed of legitimacy there based on the fact that absolutely never should have been sold in those countries, and actually still needs to be reinstated. I know the people who already bought it from there can still play, but the people who they should be able to sell the game in those countries, and it sounds like they're
Right.
slowly adding some of those countries back, but not all of them are back yet. So
He says, but that's the outrage culture we live in these days. A lot of people aren't happy unless they are mad at something. I eagerly await finding out what they are mad at this week. Well,
we had a couple things actually.
Right.
that's the life now. Is like you got to be mad about at least one thing on the internet every week, at least.
Well, there's no. It's way easier to have a black or white opinion on social media than a nuanced opinion.
Black and white.
No, you know what I mean. Rather than a nuanced opinion on social media, and it's much easier to be overly negative than overly positive. So, kind of a breeding ground for that stuff.
It is. Combine that with your anime avatar, and we're set.
This whole Assassin's Creed thing was legitimately the closest I've been in a very long time to just getting rid of my Twitter account.
Do it.
But
I literally just ignored all the Assassin's Creed stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm just done.
I mean, it's obviously bad faith stuff, so it's not even as if there's any legitimate criticism in it. So,
but these are the fucks that are gonna spoil it while they're complaining.
Oh, 100%.
So,
which is funny because they'll still buy it.
Which is funny because they'll buy it. Yeah, exactly. I didn't buy it. I subscribed to Ubisoft Connect or whatever the fuck it's called, and played it that way, so they didn't get my full money.
But they still got your money, you dumbass.
Still got your money.
I don't know if you know this, but they don't care if you subscribe to their streaming service.
They want you to.
Yeah.
They're advertising it right alongside. Like, you cannot convince me that Ubisoft put out that picture showing the different editions of the game and the price, and then put Ubisoft Plus at $18 right next to the most expensive version with all the stuff from the most expensive version, and not expect that they want everybody to buy or to play the game that way.
Mm-hmm. All right, some tweets come in. Shogun's up first. He says, well, guys, I'm officially old. Miasma Chronicles, great game, destroyed me. I finally had to switch a game to easy after 30 plus years of gaming. It's come to this, easy mode. No shame, but no one has time for ungodly difficulties. Do you remember the first game you played on easy?
Oh God, no! I played a lot of games on easy over the years.
My
Yeah, I've never held myself to a standard.
my dumbass, back when the 360 was around, always made sure to play on normal or hard because I wanted the fucking achievements,
Right.
and I hated a lot of games because of that.
Yep.
I was the same way. It's
So
funny. I was just telling my kids that.
yeah, nowadays
Easy
I
all
don't
the way.
give a fuck. Like it's immediate easy mode unless like I
Yeah.
start playing it and it's mindless. Then I'm like, okay, I'll bump it up. Like, but yeah, like I play easy modes now that are hard. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like the kids, man, I can't keep up with y'all anymore. Life is on hard mode. I don't need my games to be. Just saying. I don't know if I remember the first game I played on easy mode.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the first game.
God, I'm an old man. Like he's talking about in his 30s. I'm like, brother, that was almost 2 decades ago for me. Getting close. So what was I playing in my 30s? What year was that? 15 years ago, so that was in like the 2010s.
Yeah.
That was the end of the 360 era, beginning of the
Xbox One era.
yeah. PS4. God. I think I played Killzone Shadowfall on easy. I think. Dead Rising didn't have a difficulty mode, did it? I don't think it did.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, my first easy mode is recent, actually. I mean, shit, Jedi Survivor is on easy, but there was a game before that y'all was like, nah, just put that shit on easy. I can't remember what it was that I played, but yeah,
I mean, I
it's
feel like
been
I just say that
relatively
for every
recent
game.
for
Like,
me.
just put that shit on easy.
I mean, if I was that way, like I had that mindset, like, nah, man, I gotta play this on normal, and then I'm like, what? Who the fuck am I proving this to? Like, nah, it's easy. Like, I'm here
That's
for
kind
a
of
good
my
time.
feeling nowadays. Is like all these people out here like, well, you didn't play it the right way. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I had fun.
Right? Yeah. Nah, that's where I'm at right now.
You got easy. I'm playing on easy. I don't care.
Yup.
He says I've been on an XCOM clone kick lately. I'm currently playing Midnight Sun. Got it for $8 on CD keys.
Fantastic game. That's my game of the year.
Waiting on Capes to launch on the 29th, but an article said most gamers are playing older games. What AAA big budget games have you guys actually purchased this year? 0 for me.
Dragon's Dogma
Sandland.
2.
What'd you say,
I
Anthony?
bought-
I said Sandland.
Yeah, you did buy
Mhm.
Sandland. Like, I don't know that I've bought any because I've got most of them through codes, but I totally would have bought Stellar Blade and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth 100%.
I bought. Well, how was it this year? 16 wasn't this year. I mean, I bought Suicide Squad.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Oh.
It counts though, but what's crazy is I cashed out on it too because I sure bought the $100 edition and it's uninstalled.
Didn't we get code
Ah,
for that?
man. Yeah, but remember it came later because I had already like bought it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, I swore we got
Yeah.
code for that. I can't
So I
remember.
looked up what games I may have bought. Princess Peach Showtime.
Yeah, that'd have been a
Oh!
mistake, wouldn't it have?
I haven't played it, but I do have the Prince of Persia game there.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
I
it's
know,
so
I know.
good.
So
Man.
good. I'd have totally
Uh,
bought that game. I don't care if it was $50, whatever it was, I'd have bought that game.
Thought there was another Nintendo game that came out this year that I've bought, but I guess not.
What else came out from Nintendo this year besides Princess Peach? What was the other game that came out earlier this year?
Wonder came out last year. At the end of last year.
Well, I thought they had another game like before Princess Peach.
Had another code.
They just
Uh,
released that Endless Ocean game,
Ocean, which I've heard is not great.
no, it's not. I played a little bit of it. It's not great. But there was
We're in that period. We're in the Wii U
Mario.
period.
Mario what?
Paper Mario, wasn't
That's-
that? Or was
Mario
that
versus
it?
Donkey Kong. Mario
That's
versus
just
Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Mario versus
Oh,
Donkey.
yeah,
That
that's
was
what
the
it was.
one.
Mario
Yeah.
versus Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Like that game came like a fart in the wind, dude. Nobody talks about that
Hey,
game at all.
It's
I
good.
just struggled to remember it. Damn.
Yeah, 100%. Whoever said this is the Wii U era, this is totally the Wii U time for the Switch. Like,
I said that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's totally what this is.
we're going through the droughts, boys.
Yeah.
I loved my Wii U though. I don't care.
I
it's
love
got-
my
it's
Wii
going-
U,
it's
but the amount of quality games was very low. He also says it seems like life lately has been switching to hard mode. See, I told you.
Yeah.
Gaming is not in the budget for most people. All the YouTubers and fanboys screaming about how big companies are making terrible decisions. I think it's a reflection of life today. Most people are broke. $70 is too much.
That's facts.
The rent
It
is
is.
too damn high.
The rent is too damn high.
Dude, ain't no lie that like we joke because what Xbox sold like 800,000 systems in Q4, but even Sony is like feeling it. Like people ain't spending $500 on these machines, which is crazy to think that Sony's about to launch a pro version of the PS5 like this year.
Right.
Well, they
Who's
also
gonna
Could
buy
actually
that?
more than that.
They also
$500.
launched a $200 handheld tablet that you can only play in your own house.
And a $550 VR headset.
I was
Jim
just about
Cat
to
says
say.
he loves his.
Yeah, he
that-
just got it yesterday. He was like,
Really? Of course
If it was
he did.
if it was $100, I would consider it.
I was just about to, man, right?
But $200 is too much for me.
dude,
It
like
is.
I
Yeah.
see like people like, well, you can use it if you like on a Wi-Fi, like outside your house.
We're already trying too much to explain a bad decision.
No, that thing is no way. I would not buy that thing. No way. And I'm not buying a PS5 Pro because I'm gonna tell you, the 2 games I played this year, other than being a little blurry, Final Fantasy Rebirth was great on my PS5, and Stellar Blade has been sublime on my PS5. I don't need a Pro, especially if that bitch gonna be like
Now, what if you-
$700. No way.
Now, what if you streamed that over to a device that could only connect to your PS5? But I think that would be the optimal way to play.
Dude, I saw
You're
somebody
probably
out there
right,
simping that thing, playing Stellar Blade, and I was watching because they like you could see their hands in the shot, and like the button presses were literally like a second and a half behind the action on the screen. I'm like, who wants to do that?
They don't really want to. They're just doing it for the clout, for the flex. Like, yeah, man, this is really great. No, it's not. You're lying to yourself, and now you're lying to me.
Terrence, as always, you have an excellent white person voice.
Thank you. Been practicing that.
It's
Thank you.
that's a thing. You can have a white person voice.
Yeah. You
Sure.
know?
I would like to tell you about my
See, you got a good
PlayStation.
white person
See?
voice.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Is that what we sound like?
Only the super obnoxious ones. Yes, that's what we break out that voice.
I would like to tell you about my PlayStation and anime collection.
Yeah, see that guy? Yeah, he definitely sounds like that. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Jeremy writes in and says, "Hey guys, welcome back. I finally finished Dragon's Dogma 2 at around 150 hours.
Oof. Yeah, I got to get back into that game.
He says, I needed a palate cleanser. Man, it's an XCOM day. He says, I jumped back into XCOM 2's campaign. Man, that game is so good. Even shot taken is a risk. Sorry, every shot taken is a risk. I hope XCOM 3 is on the way. What's your favorite strategy/tactical game?"
Oof.
Motherfucker, this ain't even a question. This is StarCraft.
Yeah, I was just about to say, man, StarCraft.
I would say, I don't like RTS games. Although I did like the first 2 Warcraft games. I'm gonna say Valkyria Chronicles.
You like that old-timey anime, that World War I anime?
Well, I mean,
That one was good.
I
I
guess.
liked those.
yeah,
No,
those
they're
games
good,
are
they're good games.
Stuff was
really
cool.
great.
Metal Gear Acid.
Of course you got a
Nice.
fucking weird one.
Of course,
I mean-
Invisible Ink is essentially Metal Gear Acid without the card system. I like the idea of a stealth game that is turn-based. That's cool.
Do you play the Go games? That seems like your jam.
I have. Those are very different. Those are very different.
I mean, and when I say StarCraft, I want to be very clear. The first one.
But specifically the N64 version. Ken's weird. Like,
No,
Oh,
Anthony, don't you dare! Oh
Yeah,
my
no.
God, that
he really
version,
likes that. He really likes that split screen multiplayer.
Dude,
That ain't even
that
StarCraft.
I was
remember we rented that.
I was impressed it happened, but you should never play it.
Nah. Mm-mm.
StarCraft on the PC. If you're gonna get one, get that remastered version. But yeah, it's the GOAT. There will never be anything better than StarCraft. Finally, Seamus writes in, says, I've been playing Blasphemous. Have any of you guys played this? As a guy who was raised Catholic and grew up on the NES, it's pretty cool to see a beautiful pixel art side-scrolling action game take on such themes. Anyways, thanks for the great show.
You know what's funny about Blasphemous
second one.
is it's on sale all the time, and every time it's on sale, I consider picking it up, and then I never do.
It's a
But
Souls-ass Souls
it
does
game.
look-
That's for
It
sure.
does
is
look
so-
cool.
Visually,
Yeah,
it's
I
one of the
played the
coolest
second
looking
one.
games ever.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Go ahead, Terrence. Sorry.
No, that was it. I played the second one. I mean, I agree with Riley. It does. Some of the bosses are crazy looking. Like it's got some imagery. Like I definitely dig it though. It was good. And I don't even dig Souls.
I keep seeing this bitch turn in this GIF, and it's driving me crazy. In Discord,
Yeah.
there's the fucking 180 turn with a fucking bolt action rifle.
Her slow turn.
All right. I do have to shill for a minute, so I apologize. If you made it this far in the show, you just have to live with it.
I mean, when you say if you made it this far in the show, do you mean like people who've been listening to us for 15 years?
Oh no.
He means literally we're the only people. He's literally talking to us three.
So yeah, like we don't do a whole lot of promotion on the podcast, but when I use something, I'm okay promoting it. So I'm working with eWin Racing.
Condoms. Oh.
No, wrong one. We'll do that one next week. eWin Racing. So we got a coupon code. If you go to the website and you click on that link, you can get 20% off a new gaming chair. And I'm gonna tell you, I used their old one for like 7 years, and I love it, and I have a hard time giving it up. But they sent me the new XL, which holds like 550 pounds, so you can get like 2 gamers in there, maybe.
Okay, that's a bold statement.
But yeah, I'm using one right now. I'm sitting in it. It's got magnetic headrest, which is soft as fuck. But yeah, you can get it 20% off using our code. Code is ZTGD. Go get you a chair. I'm gonna chill for like the next 10 weeks.
I'm gonna say something just quickly because I went to their website. As a person that is 6'2", it's really nice to see also that they are like thinking about people's heights when it comes to chair building, because fuck people that make chairs and then they're built for like people who are between like 5'11" or 5'6" and 5'11". Like it's nice to see things that are like, oh, okay, up to or shorter than 7 feet. Yeah, I'm good. I'm covered.
Yeah, I had to buy a footrest for this one because it's so high off the ground.
So yeah, that's.
Oh man, yeah, I definitely want this chair then because I didn't know you were that tall, Anthony. I'm 6'2".
Yeah, he's a tall, lanky boy.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I'm the average height man, which is funny. Like I found that picture yesterday where we all went to the zoo, and I'm like, I'm the tallest dude in that picture. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, I'm not even that tall. Are y'all like short legs?
No. I'm 5'9", 5'10", somewhere around in there.
No,
I hate that I've created that beast.
I did that solely for Anthony.
I wish I could put it down.
But yeah,
take it out back like Old Yeller, put a bullet in his head.
Like the only person that was like at the same height as me was Laura. Like everybody else was shorter than me. I was like, I'm only 5'11". I didn't think I was that tall. But then you got Anthony over here. He just tower over everybody.
And I have friends that are like 6'7" and
Jesus
above.
Christ! What do you like? Hang out in the Long Lakes Club? What?
Yeah.
Man, my son is that tall. Ben Thomas is. I gotta look up to that nigga. Like I'm like,
Anthony's best friends are all on the Lithuanian basketball team.
Oh shit! Yeah, no. But anyway, yeah, go get yourself a chair. They're really nice. Like I don't promote shit I don't use, and I've been using their chairs for like 7 years. So I'm always happy to partner with people who make shit I like. Just most of the people who make shit that I like won't answer my emails. So
it be like that.
But anyway, that's it for the show. If you want to send us an email, podcast at ztgd.com. If you want to see us on Twitter, it's ZTGD Radio at ZTGD Radio on Twitter. Always like to hear those. I'm gonna ask this question. I know the answer. What's all this Phoenix Down? What are you doing? That's what I thought.
Man,
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't judge me.
Right.
I mean, you guys have been talking about it for like 6 months.
Listen, Ken, I said don't judge me, all right?
Drew had a baby
All right,
and still
short
did an
legs.
episode. And y'all can't do shit.
Damn. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, technically he didn't have the baby. He just cares for it. But I got you. That's fine.
I mean, if you've ever had a kid, you know the wife's work is a lot harder. But we ain't got no short end of that stick. I'm just saying.
Man, who
Drew
you
sends me
telling? I
plenty
done
of
done that
memes he
shit
has
so
the
many
time.
times.
Trust me. I see his fucking unhinged. I found a video of some guy getting hit in the dick with a propeller, and it's like, dude, don't send this
Anthony,
shit.
he has a baby, so all he can do is play on his phone. That's all he
That's
can
true.
do.
He did that
'Cause he got the-
beforehand.
Well, of course he
got
did
the
it
baby in one
beforehand.
arm.
Yeah, he can only use one hand right now because the other one's holding a goddamn human. Short leg one
Yep.
at that.
Fucking
Short leg.
Tiny little leg human.
Tiny little
Got that tiny little Lego block.
leg human. Oh man.
Yep, this is your fault, Anthony. It's gonna happen.
Yes. Oh
listen,
man.
listen, tiny legs. I'm glad they made a chair in your size.
I can stand this bitch.
Anyway,
No, you need. That's the reason why you need the footrest.
fucking right I do. I can't help it. I don't play basketball for Lithuania. That's not my problem.
They only let you on certain rides when you go to the theme park.
They only let me on certain rides because otherwise my innards will be broken because I'm too goddamn old.
Man.
Oh, anyway,
Must be this tall to ride off. Sorry, Ken. Guess you left out again.
oh shit.
Got
Anyway,
that short leg. Got that short leg.
I'm the tiny Legos. You don't know. That's it for this week. We're gonna get out of here. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.